In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast. Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
Just whatever.
You can't just whatever that.
You can whatever.
But, okay, whatever.
It's whatever.
Whatever.
I'm not the one.
I heard about you. That's a great
I'm not the one.
bit. I heard about you. You heard right. Hi, fellas.
Hey, it's that time of the week.
Yeah. Band back together.
Yeah.
Scott, you were missing last week.
Yes. I was in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I was doing a little veteran thing. I got invited by old Jason Murph from Grow Your Ass Off to go up and help with an event that was put together through the Mid-America Center. I think Mid-America. It's a big racetrack, off-road racetrack up in Oklahoma, Oklahoma. It's awesome facility. I mean, very cool. Like, we didn't know what to expect, right? So we're like, Jason's bringing food, but he's planning on grilling on a grill. We had a commercial kitchen at our disposal.
Oh, nice.
And then the next day we were on the gentleman who owns the place, Jason. I don't know his last name, but he owns this place, invited us out to go use his dock so that we could take some amputees, some veterans wakeboarding or wake surfing, right? And so we get there, and his place is incredible.
Yeah.
So I do the pan around. I show Michelle. I'm like, yeah, this is where we're at today. She's like, they're letting you cook at the marina. I said, no, this is his private dock. And when initially I'm like, I don't really know why somebody needs 3 boats. And then one broke down, and we just grabbed the other one. I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And they were
this is my argument against money can't buy happiness.
Oh,
the fuck it can't. Yes, it can.
I was very happy that day, and none of it was my money.
The people who say money can't buy happiness don't have money.
They've never had it. Yeah. Like,
and then
I'd rather wipe my tears with $100 bill.
like I've never been wealthy, you know? I've been okay, but I've never been wealthy.
But you know what?
And I will tell you right now, when I'm okay, things are looking up.
You know what? So I got to meet Jason, the owner of the facility and the beautiful place we were at. And he genuinely seemed happy. And it was probably because he had enough money where he was doing really cool things and helping people. And like,
Right.
you know, he wasn't even there. He just like, here's the keys, like use my boat, whatever. Right. But he had one boat I think was kind of off limits. It was badass.
Yeah, but it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was cool. And so we had one of the guys that was there had no legs from like his
Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah, but like way above the knees, no legs. And so they had an adaptive surfboard, and this guy got up on it and was surfing, and it was the coolest thing ever. We had one guy with one leg, and he was able to do it. We had one guy with no arm. He was able to get up and go surfing and stuff. And it was really cool. Awesome. Like, we had a great time. We had a good time. And then I got to Travis Pastrana, and all the Nitro Circus guys were there because it's an incredible facility. And I think at the facility, they started setting it up to where all the Nitro Circus guys can go there and practice and use it as kind of their home base when they're around.
That's cool.
And
they're not going to get annoyed by too big crowds in Oklahoma because it's Oklahoma.
No, well, that and when there was no crowd, it was closed.
Yeah.
When we were there. And so it was awesome because nobody was there except for us, the Nitro Circus guys and whatever. And so they had all the ramps set up there, and they have an awesome racetrack. And I got to do a lap with Travis driving in one of the
vehicles.
One of the vehicles. One of the side-by-sides.
Yeah.
And so we got to do some jumps and go around the track with Travis. That was awesome. So that was kind of the highlight for me for the weekend.
Nice.
And then, we got to help cook and do some stuff with Grow Your Ass Off. And he made some awesome breakfast tacos and some ribs and a bunch of cool shit. So really good weekend. Enjoyed it a lot. And so I think hopefully in the future we get to do it again and be a little more active. I guess it was all thrown together in like the last couple days.
Well, like, so Murph had called me
Yeah.
and was like, hey, are you interested in doing this? I was unavailable. I had
Right.
kids all weekend and all this. And the first phone call I made was to you.
Yeah.
And you didn't answer because you were at the VA.
Yeah.
And then I immediately called you
Yeah.
and was like, hey, I just think this would be a good opportunity for Warfighter to get involved.
Yeah.
Type of thing, you know? And
I think it will be. I think it'll be fun. So
yeah.
but yeah, just getting it was cool. Like, you know, if you would have told me like the adaptive boat wake surfing,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
no, either did I.
Yeah.
And like by the end of it, like it was so awesome.
Yeah.
These guys enjoyed it a lot.
Did you try weight?
I didn't because I didn't want to use up the time.
Yeah.
We only had like, I don't know. We ended up staying out till dark because
Yeah.
everybody was having such a good time. But I didn't want to use up somebody else's time that was there.
For
so,
sure.
So I didn't do that. But yeah, it's really cool.
That's the excuse I would have
Look
used too.
forward to doing it.
Totally. I've been like, yeah, I didn't want to take it away from someone else.
Well, it would have been because I probably would have sucked at it. And
Yeah.
I would have taken a lot of time away.
Yeah.
So
Oh, me 100%. Me
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but no, it was awesome.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. So what'd you get into this weekend?
I did nothing but moved stuff.
That sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible. Jazz?
I heard you guys drank a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, I heard you guys got a little tied on Saturday.
But yeah, I mean, two of us were fine.
Yeah. Were you one of those two?
Yeah.
So
One we had to send to bed.
Yeah.
So you and your wife were fine.
No, actually, this will come out before we leave for it. But my wedding's this weekend, and
Yeah.
so TJ Kibbe and Mike Jones, they flew in Saturday morning.
Mike Jones from Houston.
No.
Obviously.
No, this is wish.com Mike Jones.
Oh.
And
It's the same word. You just have to rearrange the letters.
yeah. And they flew in and they're here for the wedding. They're here for the week to also to like help get stuff ready and pack out and all that kind of stuff. And so, but yeah, we were having some drink. And so there was one point where we were out in my garage having drinks and just kind of hanging out. I look over and good old TJ it looked like a baby sapling in the wind. Just
Do one of these numbers.
And I finally just looked at him and was like, all right, go to bed. And he went over and grabbed his drink and like a misbehaving puppy. I was just like, He put the drink down. I was like, go to bed. And he was like, okay. And he turned around.
I know you guys tried to FaceTime me. I was not in a good way.
Yeah, we weren't at that point. I think we'd only had like a drink or something like that. Like we weren't FaceTiming because we were
But
drinking.
did you guys FaceTime me? Was that Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to show you that fucking bottle.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yep.
I've never seen a Weller bottle.
So the best part is in the background of the FaceTime, I see Jazz's motorcycle and I know his new exhaust showed up. And I'm like, is that your new exhaust? He's like, yeah. He's like, you want to hear it? I'm like, absolutely. So Kibbe's holding the phone and he turns it around and he's like watching Jazz. And Jazz walks around the bike and flips all the levers and everything, get ready to start.
Didn't even think about the fact that he was on my phone.
As soon as he goes to start it, it goes on mute because it connected to the bike.
My bike has
So he
Bluetooth.
starts it, he revs it a couple times. They're all looking and smiling. I'm like, I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
They shut it off and then I can hear it.
I completely forgot it was just going to fucking Bluetooth to my bike.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I'll just hear it next time.
I'll hear it next
Yeah.
time. It sounded good when you pulled
Yeah, it
in.
did.
Yeah, I'm really happy with
Yeah.
it. I'm really happy with it.
Way louder than it was.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not obnoxious.
It's a good.
It's not obnoxious like mine.
It's a good noise.
Yeah, but factory Harley exhaust is like
It's a sewing
actual
machine.
exhaust.
They sound like sewing machines
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Harley decided that because there's one state that has a decibel requirement on their exhaust,
Yep.
all of their bikes are just getting the same
But you know why?
muffler.
Because Harley knows that as soon as that person
Everybody's
buys
going to
that,
rip it off anyway.
yeah, that's the first thing to go.
So there was no point in developing two.
No,
And
they're
it's
like, fuck it.
just make one shitty one because everybody's ripping these off
Yep.
anyway. Even if they weren't quiet, everybody rips their pipes off.
Yeah.
anyways,
Oh,
in places.
I don't know a single serious rider that hasn't changed his exhaust.
I don't know casual riders that have
My
changed their
app-
exhaust.
How many miles did it take you?
to change the exhaust on.
Well, no, he was waiting.
No, I know. I know.
It was honestly, it wouldn't have left the dealer with the exhaust on it had I not just traded in my Road Glide that I'd finished stage 1 on. I'd finished stage 1 on the Sunday before I traded it in on Saturday. So I'd had the stage 1 on that Road Glide for 6 days and then traded it in. And it was one of those like, I'm not going to do this right now because I
might trade this bike in.
No, the sting was too new of like watching all that money just leave with the bike. So I waited 5 weeks. So the bike had 1,200 miles on it by the time I put the pipes on it. So
I think you've officially put more miles on your bike, this bike, than I've put on mine since I've owned it.
Yeah, I did the math. And I've ridden since January. I've ridden like just over 14,000 miles since January.
Wow.
That's probably my lifetime on a bike.
Jesus.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like I only...
The first year I owned
maybe
a motorcycle in Nebraska, I put on 7,000 miles.
Yeah. My first year that I had a bike, I was in Southern California, so I could ride every day.
Yeah.
So I just put in, and like, and Coast Highway is a great ride.
Yeah.
Right. Especially when you're learning because it's pretty slow. There are some get up and goes where you can still get, but it's all straight away. So like I would just cruise fucking Coast Highway. That was like my weekends for a long time. Like,
well, I think PCH is like 480 miles top to bottom or something like that. Like if you go from the start, like all the way to Santa Monica, I think it's like 480 miles.
In 2009, I was living in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I had a bike and I put 1,000 miles on the bike that year. And in 2010, I moved to Phoenix and I put 50,000 miles on that bike in 1 year.
Yeah.
All I did was ride.
I'm not going to hit my goal
every day.
I'm not going to hit my goal this year. But when I got the first one in January, I told myself I wanted to do 20,000 miles in my first year.
Yeah.
And I won't hit it. And it was the summer and nobody expected
it was a brutal summer.
This summer to come along and just be like, because essentially you had till about 9 a.m. to be on the bike. And then it was like, you're fucking done.
It's like, or do you want to ride in an air fryer?
Yeah. I rode it to work and back and stuff. But the whole like, hey, it's Saturday. Let's ride to Fredericksburg and have lunch. Like that.
You know what?
Let's not.
I got sandwich meat in the house.
Yeah.
I just bought Boar's Head. You start justifying it.
I know, right?
Like, I think I'm a little over 14,000 miles.
Nice.
Fucking A, man. And that's cross bikes.
Yeah, on the 3 bikes I've ridden.
Yeah. Fucking A.
But I mean, like that one, I've had that one 5 weeks, and I think it's 1,300 or 1,400 miles on it now. So
About time. What are you looking at now?
there's nowhere to go. Like that's
he's just waiting.
As far as Harleys are concerned,
he's waiting for the next model.
Come on, Harley.
There's one more to go. And but justifying it is hard.
It's not even that. It's there's too much new on it.
For the first year. Let's say it's 3 years old. Now it's the justification.
I'm not gonna lie. If those had landed, because I got on the list, they put me on the list for it. And if those had landed, if it had been 3 years into that tech to where it was all like super stable and whatever, I probably would have gotten that over my anniversary. But they're not near as pretty as my anniversary is. That anniversary one is just.
I like your bike, dude.
Yeah.
It's very, very pretty.
I think you made the right choice.
Now I'll hold it for 5 years until the 125th comes up.
We almost have matching bikes color wise.
Close, yeah. Oh yeah, because you have all the fade work and stuff on yours too. So,
well, mine are hard lines because back then.
Because what year's yours?
2011.
Yeah,
well, it's got some time on it.
Yeah, but it's got good work on it, so it's fine.
No,
you bought yours though with pretty low miles.
It had like 6,000 miles.
Yeah,
except for that brake rotor. We got to do something about that rotor.
Yeah, I'll get that fixed eventually. What?
It still stops.
Yeah, I mean,
what's wrong with your rotor?
He's got
it's warped.
It's just fucking womp womp womp.
Yeah, one of his front rotors is warped.
Yep. If you get if you get hard on the front brakes, you don't notice it as much as if you use it light. So I just ride it like a street bike. And
Just stand that bitch up on the like,
like I just dive into a turn.
just
I'm
doing endos.
just click, dump the clutch in a downshift and right back on the gas.
Just endoing that motherfucker every chance you get.
You can't even do that on the new ones.
No.
Like mine has it's a linked braking system.
Mhm.
So if you overcharge the front brake, it pushes 30% of the power to the rear brake and flattens the braking pattern of the bike out. So you stay under control under hard braking. And
Can you still just
Bro.
hit the back brake and do the skid?
I can turn it all off.
Oh.
And then I can just literally dump the clutch and just fucking yeah. But no, if you do it to the back brake, like if you stand up on the back brake, it'll shift power to the front brake and keep the bike balanced while you brake on it, which allows these new ones to handle better than they've ever been able to handle.
No. It's interesting.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing tech, the stuff that's in it. And next year, I have insider information about next year's touring bikes.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get a Goldwing.
They're fucking
They're
sick.
dope
I'm
as
just gonna-
shit.
I know, dude. I'm gonna get a Goldwing,
Fuck, they're dope.
but I want a fucking sidecar.
The thing that cracks me up about the Goldwings is you watch people riding them and
The back seat is a sidecar. Like it's,
Goldwings,
I'd rather ride on the back seat of a Goldwing.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
the people
Comfortable.
riding on Goldwings though, they look like Tesla drivers. Like they don't look like they're doing anything.
They're just
Like,
chilling.
They're just there.
They're in a
It's
Barca
just-
lounger, just kind of hanging out.
I have to expect
It has the
Goldwings.
lane assist and the adaptive cruise control.
Yeah,
like,
it's
you know.
nuts. It's
I don't know if
crazy.
it doesn't make
I was like, what?
I do think it actually does have the adaptive cruise control. I think it's got the front sensors and stuff.
Like, because I was looking into them years ago. Fucking years ago, I thought about getting one.
So if I remember right, a Goldwing has roughly, I think it's 5 miles of wiring
Mhm.
on each motorcycle. The electronic diagnostic manual for it is twice as thick as the actual service manual for it.
Really?
Yeah. It's nuts.
It's crazy. But the thing is, they don't break.
Yeah.
They don't.
Oh no, you're getting 100.
You talk to these
Yeah.
guys that are like, I've got a 1987 Goldwing with 400,000 miles on it.
Still rolling like a
it's
champ.
Still just like,
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year I had to change the clutch.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
I think the new one, the brand new Goldwing though, it goes for like 30, I think. or
20,
something.
25, 6
Yeah, but you don't want and that's the automatic. You don't even have to shift that one.
automatic.
See, that I would want. I'd still want to shift.
Well, it's the new one. If I'm not mistaken, Kibby, the new automatic it's that DCT system or whatever, right? So you can shift it, or it's like having a Triptronic in your car because it's like I'm a fast driver and I can flick my stick, and it's like
Fucking
I'm
fuck
just waiting
that.
for the day where they put paddle shifters on factory bikes.
Yeah.
Because you can get air shifters for
Yeah.
like drag bikes.
yeah.
But for it is just on one side, you have up and down.
Huh.
But I'm just waiting for the day where they put it.
I'm at the point now where I think I could remove my toe shifter because I only shift with my heel, other than like literally getting it in first.
That only works half the time.
They could give me a hook.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm
Just
about
get a-
to
just
remove
get a-
my heel shifter.
Get a
'cause I-
boot.
You never
that
use
sticks
it.
out a little bit more. Just get like a boot with a big heel.
I like the heel shifter a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never into it. I always liked just the toe. I could do without the heel.
I liked it at first because it felt like I was just stomping every time I was shifting up.
For me, it's when you're like cruising and you're laid out on your highway pegs and stuff, and you downshift once to go around something. It's a more natural move to pull your foot back and just push down and then put your foot back. But yeah, I like the heel toe setup.
Huh.
I don't know what I'd do. I feel like on an automatic, I'd keep reaching for it and it just wouldn't be there.
So this says Goldwing Touring Airbag Automatic. What is the airbag?
That's your suspension.
Suspension.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an all airbag suspension.
I didn't know if it was like a crash thing or not.
No, because it's got the new Goldwing. I think has
That would be so fun. It just yeet you off the back of the bike. Like, boom!
It just
look like you're on the
it
fucking-
forms a bubble around
Look
you.
like you're on the Mars lander. You just bouncing and
No,
shit,
it has a-
wrapped in bubble wrap.
if you've ever seen the well, like I think some of
Yeah,
the
the
Fords and
air-
shit have it where you can literally
Yeah.
raise and lower it does it. It like you can air in and air out those. Not like you can't like frame it. Like you can't frame it out.
They need
but
to
you,
pull it out of like a 2001 Ram 1500
Just let it
steering
leak?
wheel and just put it right on the fucking
Yeah.
bam, just gone. Like, well, we saved you from the impact.
You remember those like prank videos where they get somebody
I
to sit on
fucking
it and
love
they
those.
shoot them through the fucking
Yeah.
ceiling and shit?
but the new Goldwing is fucking impressive.
They do look pretty nice.
It's a really, really nice bike. You want to talk about a quiet motorcycle, though?
Well, it's a
Yeah.
V6, 1,833 cc's.
God damn.
Well, it's a tiny Civic. It's just a two-wheel.
That's all it is. It's a Civic with two wheels. Yeah.
But man, I'll ride, and you'll have people that go by you on Gold Wings, and they just look like they're just
Happy?
no. They look like they look like they're being driven. Like they don't look like they're actually interacting with the bike at all.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of like. So
They still get one
I
of
think
these.
they're dope. I think they're super dope. They're great bikes,
Yeah.
and Jesus, they last forever.
That's the big thing is resale and longevity on them. It's fucking massive.
Funny thing is, like nobody sells them. Somebody somebody fucking dies, and the wife
Yeah.
is like,
That's an estate
"Hey,
sale
I've got this
item.
Gold Wing. You want to buy it?" Like,
So I just got a notification. I opened up my phone, and this was the meme that showed up when I opened up Instagram, and it says, "Marriages are like pancakes. There's no shame in throwing out the first one."
God damn right.
Fucking amen.
No comment.
Fuck, it is like pancakes though, because like the front cook on that one was awesome. And then I flipped that bitch over for the back half, and it was like, what the fuck happened? This was going so well.
I think my back half was better. Front was meh.
I meant the timeline, not the body.
Oh. My bad. John, what'd you get into this weekend?
I did some hood rat shit down at the Womack Ranch.
As you do.
Yeah. No, went down there to go hang out. There's a couple dudes down there that were from Western Mass, which was pretty funny because they're from Western Mass. So
Where at?
out by Springfield.
Why do people classify that? Mass is only like 4 miles long.
Because
Not very big.
the people that live in Western Mass
There's a massive difference
versus
in
the
both.
people that live in the rest, like what everyone else thinks of
Well,
Massachusetts.
that's like when people tell you
Night
they're
and
from
day.
Virginia, and you're like, where? And they're like, oh, Nova. And I'm like, okay. But then they go like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm from out by, like University of Virginia and shit. And you're like, oh, so you're a hillbilly.
Yeah,
It,
so-
like,
Because you're
you
either
have
Virginian
Nova.
or Appalachian.
yeah. There's three areas in Virginia. There's Nova,
Mhm.
there's Hampton Roads, which is the Chesapeake Bay area.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, for those that are from up there.
Yeah.
And then there's Western Virginia.
Yeah.
And Western
but-
Virginia.
But Western
is-
Virginia, don't get that confused
with West Virginia.
Oh, it's not West by
It's
God.
two different beasts.
Oh, West by God.
Western Virginia is hillbillies.
Mhm.
West Virginia is that's a new species.
hillbillies too.
It's still hillbillies. Great wings.
They're beyond hillbilly out there.
My-
good,
Uh,
good,
mountain
good,
man.
good
Yeah, that's-
moonshine.
I'm telling you, my favorite wings to this date, Pies and Pints in downtown Charleston, West Virginia. It's the best wings I've ever
Nobody
eaten in my
makes
life.
moonshine like Uncle Daddy out in West Virginia.
Right.
It's-
Damn right.
It makes sense if you think about it.
start
It's West
start doing the
Virginia.
look. West Virginian family trees.
Oh.
Yeah. yeah.
Justin just clicked.
What did he look up?
I think
No,
I
it
think,
just clicked what Uncle Daddy was.
I think
Oh.
Uncle Daddy just clicked in his mind. He was like, God damn it.
That's because a West Virginian family tree looks like a stump.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't fork.
Isn't West Virginia where that family that's like
Oh yeah.
6 generations of inbred?
The whites. The wonderful whites of West Virginia.
Yep.
Is that? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different one.
By the way, that's just West Virginia.
Yeah, that's just most.
But no, I know which one you're thinking of.
I-
The one that Joe Rogan's talked about.
Yeah.
Uh,
one of the people just barks.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak. He just
Yeah.
barks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
just West Virginia.
Dude, so one of the reserve companies, our Alpha company, was based out of Charleston, West Virginia. That's why I used to have to go down there for work when I was stationed in Baltimore. And they fucking, I had like Hatfields
Yeah.
from the Hatfield and McCoys that were in my company down there and shit. Like it was fucking weird,
It's
man.
weird out there.
Yeah, they are a
And then people will
Strange
try to
breed.
defend
Good people,
it,
good
and then
folks.
they want to send you pictures of like West Virginia University, and they're like, "Look at this," and I'm like, "Nobody that goes there is from West Virginia,
right. Like
Every single one of them." I've got a buddy here, born and raised in San Antonio, and his dad owns an engineering consulting firm, and West Virginia University has an outstanding engineering program.
True.
And so he got a full ride. So he went up there, got his degree, and moved back. And he's proud to have gone to WVU. And he's like, but West Virginia is fucked. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. They used to be one of my account territories.
The herd.
That used to be one of my account territories when I was a rep. And
I don't know if I have that picture still, but I was drunk walking around with my buddy Bullard in West Virginia. And I found a midget on the side of the street and she was wearing a herd shirt. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm going to hit on her. And he was like, fuck you.
That's the place where I saw a guy in cut off jorts, hiking boots, nothing else, walking his goat on a rope. Like just down the middle of Charleston, West Virginia. And it was like, yep.
Telling you, man.
Sometimes goats need to be walked.
Here we are. Fuck, man.
Yeah, good old West.
There's a really cool cigar shop in the Horn of West Virginia because there's like that little horn that wraps around. That's just north of DC and Maryland and stuff. And that part doesn't claim West Virginia.
Right.
That's more. That's closer to PA people. It's like PA Maryland folk.
Yeah. And so you have most of the people that live there work in DC.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper to live in West Virginia than it is to live in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And there's a really, really cool cigar shop. And the guy that owns it is like the 5th owner or whatever. And it's been in operation for like 90 years.
Wow.
Like, and it hasn't moved. It's in the same little building. Then you go in and so it's all those old school like brass cast ashtrays with the glass inserts and shit that they got from the distributors back in the day and they've just never left. Like,
nice.
I tried to get him to sell me shit so many times. And he was like, no, I'm not selling anything in here. I was like, come on, man.
I used to get drunk as fuck in Morgantown. That's up that area. Like borders fucking, it's like just the other side of the Potomac from Western Maryland.
Yep.
So best man at my wedding, my friend Travis is from Sharpsburg, Maryland, which is like Antietam battlefield area, right? Literally a mile down the road across the bridge is Morgantown, West Virginia, where the college is.
Right.
And we used to go there. There was this place called Alto's. And we'd go to Alto's and because their bars don't close till 4.
Wow.
So we'd close the bars down at 2 in Maryland, shoot over 20 minutes over into Alto's, so just get fucking trashed. Nothing good ever happened.
No.
And it
2 to 4?
always,
No.
Dude, it was always me and my buddy Timmy trying to fight fucking hillbillies. We just kept calling them Ricardo. I didn't care who they were. Their name was Ricardo.
I'm trying to think anywhere I've ever been where anything good happened from 2 to 4 in the morning.
Nothing.
Even on my best days, it's like I call it at like 3.
Like nothing good
I mean?
happens after midnight. Like whoever coined that phrase, they coined it because they were correct.
Yeah.
Like nothing good ever happens after midnight.
I don't know. I've had some good times between midnight and 2.
Yeah.
I've had some awesome conversations between midnight and 2 where you hit that point of like, okay, I've burnt off all the physical energy, but I can still converse. And I've had some great talks between like midnight and 2.
If I'm in and I'm like at a house with a bunch of people, all good, right? But if you're out and about, never good.
Yeah, but most of those conversations that I've had, I have never gone out and about for the purposes to see how fucked up I can get.
It's true. It tends to happen with me sometimes.
I'd be a liar if I said I've never gone out
just
to get fucked up, because I've definitely gone out for the purpose of just getting fucking trash.
That's never been like something I've like, hey, I'm going to go out and get fucked up tonight.
Oh,
I've definitely done.
But I have let Jesus take the wheel a couple times.
Oh, we all have.
Yeah, I'm not saying
I was in the passenger seat one time.
Well,
and my name wasn't Jesus, it's John, and I had to take the wheel.
Like your name was Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus had a really good friend named John.
It worked out great. Scott did the pedals, I did the wheel. We made it home.
I did the pedals by voice, not sight.
Yeah, because you couldn't see.
I could see. There was 4 different roads. It was like, which one are we on?
Yeah.
John, steer.
Hey, by the way, everybody, this is the Freedom Friends podcast brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet 15% off. OWellness.us for all your CBD treats and needs. Use that code FreedomFriends25. Get your quarter off your order. You go to ictechcoolers.com. Use that code FreedomFriends10. We'll get you 10% off. And check out the affiliate link, growyourassoff.com / grow your ass off.
You know what? I'm going
to / Freedom Friends podcast.
I'm going to plug the Roca Tavern. Yeah. Because that's
in Roca, Nebraska.
Yeah, Roca, Nebraska.
I forgot to do that.
Free plug.
Yeah, that's where we drove from.
Yeah.
We got presents from a company.
Oh yeah, and yeah, this isn't even from a listener.
No.
Because they themselves sent it, right? This is like the company.
This is actually from. Camera's this way. This is from Sailor Jerry.
Yeah, they sent us 4 bottles of Sailor Jerry, which is pretty fucking cool. There's no
What a
note.
note
That's all. I put everything that came with it.
Behold the tastiest gift ever.
from M&C Sachi.
Oh.
So,
Huh.
But I think this is because our good friend Jason at Grow Your Ass Off called in a favor.
Well, he called him up and was like,
Let
"Hey,
me see that.
I have a podcast that I think might be good for you guys," and
So-
kind of did some politicking on our behalf.
It had been a hot minute since I've drank Sailor Jerry.
Well, fuck. Let's crack it open and chug it.
Yeah. Jason and I, when we were in Oklahoma, we finished off a couple bottles of this, and it was.
On the rocks, or did you mix it?
I fucking did it on the rocks because that's who I am.
Yeah.
Jason,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind Sailor Jerry and ginger ale.
No, not at all.
Jerry and ginger ain't bad.
It was decent on the rocks. I was happy with it.
So they've changed it, I think, right? Because that's not as high octane as it used to be.
This is
that-
only 92.
I
That
think
shit
they
used
make
to-
different levels.
Because it used to be over 100.
Yeah, but I think they make different levels.
Yeah.
I think you can still get the shit that's like 100 something proof.
Yeah. You know what I really like doing? I like making glazes with that. Do
Usually, what happens
like
is
a-
I
like
drink
a-
that and then I attempt
a-
to make a glaze.
like a reduction. You glaze your pants after you drink that.
I attempt.
Somebody,
Sometimes it's like shooting pool the rope.
yeah, just fucking push and pickle. Push and pickle.
Well, thanks to Sailor Jerry. For,
Yeah, right? For the hangovers
For the,
that we're definitely going to have.
You know what? I'm gonna
We're gonna take a bottle of the wedding.
Yeah, I was gonna say there needs to be a bottle that goes to the wedding.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's exciting though. We got that coming up this weekend. That'll be fun.
It's gonna be a shit show. You know, okay, so I got to say something about the Texas Renaissance Festival and the people that go and camp at the Texas Renaissance Festival. I've never done it yet.
But I put you in that Facebook page.
And then I joined a couple other Facebook groups because it was such a shit show. I had to see more.
Yeah.
Just car accidents that you can't look away from.
Oh my, it's like these fucking people have never been outside their house before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about is on one of the major pages, and this happens every time the festival starts
Oh my
up.
God.
The amount of posts that
idiots.
people go, what do I need to bring to the campground? And the thing is that even the page becomes self-correcting where somebody eventually just goes like, all right, look, God damn it, you're
Yeah.
sleeping outside. So if you don't want to sleep outside, you need something to fucking sleep in. It'd also be smart for you to bring something to sleep on.
Literally, like almost verbatim, these comments.
Past that, there's some food, there's some booze. It sucks. It's expensive. So you might want to bring your own shit. But if there's bathrooms, there's showers, there's everything else you could fucking ask for. But unless you want to sleep on the grass, then
There are showers?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's hot showers.
But now there is some saving grace in these groups, right? Like over the weekend, I happened to see a post that some dude put up, and he was there by himself, and he was trying to get some. And he put it out in a fucking public Facebook group.
Tell me you screenshotted it.
I did not.
Did,
Because it wasn't worth the screenshot because it wasn't like this. He was going hard in the paint on Facebook, but you could tell by what he put and how he wrote it. It was like
hey,
this dude's just trying to get some stank for
any
staying down.
ladies
So
out here?
Did it pay off for him? Or?
No, it's usually like,
No, nobody commented on the post.
it's usually something like, hey, I'm Tyler and I'm here alone and looking to get into some shenanigans tonight. Anybody know where I need to go? Now, what that guy wants to ask, and he's not asking, is
Where the fucking swingers at?
where's the swinger camp? Because
Where the hose at?
there is a clan there that is just a swinger clan. And if you go there,
Oh,
that's
what's
like the
name
whole
of it?
purpose of the camp.
What's the name of the clan?
Wait.
Swing on by.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Swing on by is the name of the clan.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because that's not my world.
These are pineapples, not strawberries.
I get it. The strawberries, that's my thing. I haven't
What are
decided what that
strawberries?
thing. Yes.
what are strawberries?
Now,
Justin?
John, I don't know if you were here for that podcast.
I think I was. I just don't remember.
I'm just going to invent the upside.
Yeah,
down
no, I was
strawberry.
definitely here
I
for
think
that.
we decided that it was either trying to,
It was bug chasing?
it was bug chasing or
It's whatever I come
or
up with.
learning disability chicks. I don't want to say the R word.
Wow. But my question is, if this is a single guy,
Redacted?
don't you need to bring a companion to the swinger party?
Not all the time.
I love the Urban Dictionary though.
But that's an upside down strawberry shortcake.
Yeah.
She punches him in the nose.
Yeah, that's the upside down one.
Oh,
Because a strawberry shortcake.
strawberry and sling is someone who exchanges sex for drugs.
Wait.
Wait,
Oh,
hold
okay.
on. No,
Get the flag.
Wait, we have to talk about how that's worded. What does it mean when you call somebody a strawberry? Strawberry means somebody who exchanges sex for drugs.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
a-
somebody who exchanges drugs for sex. So it's like, hey, you got drugs?
I'll fuck you if you get
I'll
me some.
fuck you for it.
That is Scott. Nailed it.
But that is a right side up strawberry, my friend.
Okay, so if the upside down strawberry means you trade
you're
drugs
gonna-
for sex.
Means, yeah.
Okay.
So
I need to get rid of the flag. That
hey,
says-
sweet thing, I got some blow.
We need a flag that says, "Please feed the whores drugs."
Jeez.
I need to bring that for camping
Yeah.
for this
Oh, yeah.
weekend. Yep.
It's somewhere.
It's in the side by side.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I went looking
I-
for bug spray over the weekend, and I found the flag. Don't feed the whores drugs. And so I pulled it out, and I'm like, found it. And everyone's like, you're an idiot.
what was the party poster I showed you that's going on? The lick and stick tattoo party?
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Do you don't lick the tattoo, obviously.
No, there's a tattoo artist there, and he just tattoos you while you're partaking.
Oh.
The lick and stick tattoo party.
Yeah, so
which
you
I
lick
think
and
is
stick, and the guy
which I-
tattoos you while you're doing
I think
it.
is happening at ODB.
Huh.
I think ODB.
I don't know if that's
Party.
what it is, but
No.
that'd be great if that was the actual party.
I believe they're temporary tattoos, but you can't put them on with like the sponge or whatever.
God damn it.
Exactly. So
I know 2 ways to apply that
Yeah.
tattoo.
and there's only that's just one of the parties that's going on this weekend. The Halloween weekend at Campground is, and Friday night's also a full moon, so they're gonna get weird.
That's going to be a
anyways.
shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I'm excited.
Um,
Now you know why everything said no cameras, no video. Like,
Yeah.
they all have like that Vegas mentality.
Well, but
What happened
so,
at
Campground
Ren
is
Fair.
very much what
speaking of those
Ren is
Facebook
very
groups,
much what happens at Ren's days.
there's people
Yeah.
that'll post in a Facebook group about pictures, and it's hilarious because there's like a handful of responses that are like they use logic and they use like actual law, and they explain what it means when you're in public and somebody's taking pictures and you don't want them to take pictures of you, then you should not be in public.
Yeah.
But you can't be like, you can't take pictures of me.
It's a good point.
And it's like, actually, I can because you're in public.
Yeah.
So if you don't want me to take pictures of you, then don't be here, and I won't.
now there
But
are
now,
there
but-
are like
unwritten rules.
there's unwritten rules and there's some posted rules like COB. If you go there, they do the announcement at the beginning and they say all the rules. You have to be 21 to be there. Everything is purely consensual. Like da 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 da. There is no photography, no video, and they literally have very large individuals in very large black jackets that are walking around.
Yeah,
and if
yeah,
they
yeah.
see you so much as pull your cell phone out to check the time, they walk over and are like, "Put it away right fucking now." And if they
Really?
see a flash go off, they will take your phone and delete your entire library of photos and then give you your phone back.
Really?
Like they do not fuck around because
Wow.
it's a if you can't come and party responsibly with the rest of us,
Yeah.
because you got to be that fucking guy,
Yeah.
we're gonna treat you like that fucking guy. And
Yeah.
there's a
Right.
lot of these
I'll
motherfuckers.
tell you right now, like
Well,
Go
I
ahead,
understand
say
it.
it. If somebody
completely.
tried to take my phone, I'd hit him with the 1-2.
if I get a
No, you're
text
not.
though, and I check my text, and then some aggro dude comes over
They're
for
just,
no reason,
They're just
Okay.
going to come and tell you to put your phone away.
yeah, and
Mikey,
that's fine.
And
totally understandable.
Just
Mikey,
saying,
I'll
that they
play-
that's
see your
totally
flash
understandable.
go
I will
off.
play this hypothetical with you.
Okay,
So you're because you're coming this weekend,
I am
and your better half is coming with you.
sure.
And so if you're in an area where there's a reason for you to take your phone out and maybe take a picture or video of what's going on, you're probably not going to do that.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna anyways.
So in that hypothetical, if somebody texts you while whatever that is going on that you should be taking your phone out or taking pictures or videos of because it's worth looking at, you're probably not going to look at your phone. You're probably going to
That's-
stay staring at what's going on.
That's probably 100% accurate.
yeah.
But my point is,
And
because
almost-
everyone that's going to text you is going to be there with you.
yeah, very,
almost-
very true.
Almost every weekend, there's some motherfucker that tries to do that shit. He's like, well, I was just looking at my fucking phone. And they're like, cool. Then you can go over there and you can check your shit, and then you can come back. Almost every weekend there's somebody that tries to bow up on these motherfuckers, and then all of a sudden there's 6 of them, and it's like, and you watch the crowd just go whoop, and it's just that motherfucker, and
I'll watch,
and he's removed.
Literally, it's strip club rules.
Yep,
that's fine.
If they say, "Hey, take a picture of this," you take a picture of it. If they don't, you don't pull your phone out.
Okay. My point is let's say
when in strip club history have somebody told you to take a picture of this? Hey,
I got on my old phone. I have
really?
Maybe like I've never been asked that in a titty bar. Yeah.
Well, maybe we have different conversations with the people at strip clubs.
Obviously. All I'm saying is like for instance, like I'm a dad.
Yeah.
There's going to be people watching my children while I'm at this campground.
Right.
If someone texts me and I look at my phone, and then the next thing I know is I have this dude being aggro, not being polite and going,
okay,
hey man, da 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 da. Because 100% got it, dude. I got to go over here. No problem. Right. That's
maybe I misexplained it. They're not going to come over and try and slap you in the pee-pee because you pulled your phone out, but they're going to tell you to put it away.
Sure.
Nobody's looking to try and start a fight out there.
Oh,
it's just some idiot that out there that thinks that they're more alpha than the guys around them. And I'm like, and you're not.
You're not letting me finish what I'm saying, man. Like I'm agreeing with you.
If somebody gets aggro, you're getting aggro back.
If they get aggro with me while I'm trying to look at a text, like if you're just going like this, like your phone's not up, you're not taking pictures, you're just doing this. Right.
But you have to understand when there's 400 people standing around, they're not going to come and make sure that what you're doing is harmless. They're just going to tell you to fuck off.
I'm totally
like it's better just to have a zero tolerance policy than it is trying to filter out everybody's interactions.
I'm going to wait till I see these guys walking around, and when they get close to Mikey, I'm texting Mikey.
Do it.
My recommendation is if you feel like you need to check your phone, just walk out of the crowd and check your phone and then walk back into the crowd. Well, like it's that simple.
Yes.
But
obviously, all right. All I'm saying is like there's a right way and a wrong way to approach somebody like that. Anybody who's ever done security knows that. Anybody who's ever bartended knows that. There's a right way and a wrong way.
I'm playing devil's advocate right here. There's a right way and a wrong way to pull your phone out when you're aware that you're not supposed to have your phone out in a certain area.
Absolutely.
So by you taking
you guys keep
phone
arguing
out,
with me while I'm agreeing with everything you're fucking saying.
By you taking your phone out, it doesn't matter the reason why. You're in the wrong because you know that shouldn't happen while you're there. So if it happens, you should leave that area, look at your phone, and then come back.
Well, then they should, if it's a zero policy, they should just be like, hey, there's no phones allowed here.
They do. And then people still pull them out. Like they're not going to tell you don't bring it over there. They literally say, do not have your phone out. They before the show even starts, and it's posted on giant fucking screens that are glowing, staring you through the fucking face that says no cell phones, no cameras. Like it's posted everywhere.
No.
So if you pull your phone out, you are in the wrong 100%.
I might be confused about the situation then.
Yes, the naked girls rebuilding the Jenga stage, you can't pull your fucking phone out.
Yeah, I got that. All right.
So if you are in that circle watching it that's roped off and it's in that controlled environment that is now posted, don't bring out your fucking cell phone, and you pull your cell phone out, you're the asshole.
Oh, I'm thinking like I'm just at the campground sitting there.
Which is why I said over at COB, which is Call of Booty. There's a no cell phone policy.
Well, I don't know your fucking acronym.
See, yeah, I thought it was close of business.
That's where I went too.
Call of Booty. I'm gonna have to meet these guys while we're there.
You will.
But my favorite clan that I've seen on the map so far is Planned Piratehood.
They're next door to us.
That's funny.
They're next door to our campground.
Yeah.
The names are fun.
I know, right?
Yeah, because there's Nottingham, Swing On By, ODB, and no, I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell you what it stands for, but it's a joke because they go to both. You have to go meet the ODB guys and figure out what their name means.
I mean,
you have to go.
I go straight to Wu-Tang, man.
Old dirty bastard.
That's what I went to as well. That's not what it stands for. But you'll go.
Would you say that these guys aren't nothing to fuck with?
Do you know the ones in their camp that aren't the ones to fuck with? The girls running the bar.
Well, you never fuck with the person running the bar.
I have seen those ladies handle business. And it's hilarious because you'll have like other clan members because they have a pirate ship that they roll out. It's a permanent installation. And part of it is a bar. So you can go up and these ladies run the bar and you tip and you get drinks and the whole 9 yards. And I have seen dudes that have tried to get stupid and the guys don't even move from like where they're leaning on the bar. And because it's just like, they don't need to get involved. But it's a good environment. Like it's everybody protects everybody. Everybody watches out. Like, but you're gonna have creepers. You can't put that many people in one place with those kind of interactions.
You're gonna have creepers. There's also, let's call it what it is, man. There's a lot of people who have never been involved in situations like that, you know, and maybe they don't understand how to act. They don't know how to deal.
That's what they have rules.
You know, sure,
but it's not like they're unwritten. They're posted.
Yeah, a lot of them, there's clan rules. A lot of people have flags outside their clans and stuff like that. Call of Duty is definitely all posted rules. Everybody knows how you're supposed to behave there. And every time somebody tries to get away with it.
How big of an area do they have roped off?
200 acres is the size.
Well, the campgrounds, you're talking about Call of Duty?
Yeah, like individual clans and stuff.
Oh, it depends. It depends. Some of them are 3 and 4 acres. Like they're huge clans.
Nice. Like how big of an area do we have?
We're probably taking 50 by like 120.
Cool.
So we're taking a clan size footprint. We've already gotten permission to, because we're not leaving anything.
Yeah.
So the perk of having a clan is that you can go you get early access before the fair opens, and you can go and set your campground and leave it.
Yeah.
For the entire season. And but most of the clan people, they have like multiple RVs that go out and they build their structures and they do all that kind of stuff. But we're taking a clan size footprint, but we're allowed to do it because we're temporary.
Yeah. But it's just like a courtesy because of the wedding or what?
No, you can do it anyways. Like you can show up and because it's first come first serve for the rest of the campground. It's just that if you're a clan, you can leave your stuff up all season and leave it roped off, and you're guaranteed that footprint.
So, that's cool.
But the reason that we're going to be there, like when it opens on Thursday, is that we'll beat everybody there to rope off and take as much space as we want.
Okay.
It's advantageous.
You say, man, I just need a spot to park. That's where I'm sleeping.
We'll have more than enough space.
Super easy.
On the 200 plus acres of campground, there will be a place for you to park.
Cool.
This Saturday, I was just looking at attendance numbers. Pirate Weekend, they had 32,000 people.
Wow.
I saw a friend of mine was there. She didn't elaborate on anything. She was just there.
Oh, it's like a cool story, bro.
There was no elaboration. It was just like, I was surprised that she went. It wasn't one of them. I'll tell you who it is after this, because it surprised me that she was there.
A lot of people, they'll meet somebody like me that's all about it. It sounds interesting enough that they're like, fuck it. Or they have a group that like, hey, we're going out to camp and see the fair and eat food and whatever, and they're along for the adventure. So.
Dude, like I've only ever been to the one back east and the one in Maryland, and it was a good fucking time, man. Like just like the people watching and the interaction and the food was fucking great. Like turkey legs for days, bro. Like it was.
I just found out they're
awesome.
apparently serving 24-inch corn dogs now.
I am a fan of corn dogs.
Did you say 24-inch corn dogs?
It's called the King's Corn Dog.
Oh.
And apparently when they lift it up,
That's bigger than the one from the fair.
Remember when you and I,
yeah,
we didn't want to eat them because we were like, you didn't want me taking pictures of you eating a corn dog and vice versa. So we like ate them from the side, all weird.
Yeah, there's apparently now a 24-inch corn dog.
Fucking love corn dogs, man. You know what I had today? I found them at HEB. White Castle made fucking pizza rolls, like Totino's pizza rolls, but they're like White Castle cheeseburgers inside.
That sounds good.
Weirdly enough, delicious. Tasted exactly like a White Castle, minus the fact that it wasn't boiled, because that shit always tastes wet or feels wet.
If you take a hot dog and you put it inside a chick if she's having a yeast infection and you let it sit for 24 hours, you pull it out, it's a corn dog.
Only if you deep fry it.
I know. Well, yeah, but
gross. Gross. Or one time, this chick.
That's
what came first, the yeast infection or the
that is
hot
a
dog?
Total different definition to glizzy grip.
You still get the little crunchy part on the tip.
What style is that? It's not a Chicago dog. Jersey Frank?
Pillsbury.
Jersey Frank. I'm going to go with Jersey. Jersey seems to be a good fit for that.
Yeah.
I was thinking somewhere in Taiwan.
I don't know. I will tell you, hot dogs don't really shock me because I saw a girl with 9 raccoon tails at the
9
raccoon tails.
How'd that work?
I did
I'm
get
curious.
I
I
did get a chance to ask.
I have
Very
logistical
carefully.
questions.
I did too, but
Not
I
the
didn't
kind of
get a
girl you wanna
chance
talk to.
ask.
All you have to do is pull one of them. You'll figure out how the rest of the 8 are
Yeah,
attached.
it was something. It was her with 9, and then the other 3 had ones that they had like app control for, and it changed the colors on them.
Have you seen the ones that the butt plugs that have like the LEDs on them? And
That's what I'm talking about. There was the
But it
girl
was a
with
tail?
9 tails. The girl had
No,
9 tails,
the-
and then her 3 friends all had ones that had literally app control, and they could change the color of the LED on them.
like I would just put it to like the beat of music.
See,
Yes.
there's not a lot of times in my life where I wish I was a hacker, but times like that, I really wish I was.
I wanted
And
to go
what
ask whether or
color
not they
was-
had a blinker mechanic on them, so you could like, oh, he's going
We're
right.
going left. No, like for the ones that are like the app controlled ones that vibrate. Those are the ones that it's like I wish I knew how to hack shit because that'd be so fun right now.
I can show you a device that you can order that will hack anything with an open network, and they're like $80.
Just walk around Ren Fair
And
and
just
like,
take 'em over.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
if it had a blinker,
you
control-
guys look around and I'm gonna adjust it.
Do you know what-
we'll see you.
Do you know how assistive that could be? She could just stand there with it and just like give you signals from behind as like more to the left, more to the right, like give you speed indicators and shit. Just
It's red or green flashing.
It's actually adaptive. It's like
Yeah.
for like if you're banging a chick that's like deaf.
it'd be like it'd be like
It's adaptive
like-
equipment.
it'd be like fucking, but with Guitar Hero.
So if you're banging it, never mind. Nope.
What?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
All right. Oh fuck.
John,
No, I'm looking forward to it.
who's our guest?
Oh fuck! It wasn't really going to be a guest. I just brought it up to show Mikey. This is the 10-foot 6.5-inch alligator I got last year.
She strikes me as a Tessie.
Hey,
It might be. It was no. This one was a male.
Oh, okay.
it's
Yeah,
my sweet baby's name.
this one was a male. The females typically don't get that big. I think the state record for a female is just shy of 11, if I remember right. The state record for a gator in
Not
Texas
true.
is
In Texas,
14.3.
I happen to know that the record for a female was like 63 in one shot.
Happened in Houston. Seen the video.
Was her name Debbie?
No.
No, that was Dallas. God, you're dumb.
We said Houston.
I didn't know she did Houston too. I don't know.
Nope. It wasn't Miss Deborah. It was another
Yeah.
one. It was another fine, upstanding young lady.
But yeah, so I got this over the weekend. They picked it up from the taxidermist Friday, and this morning the taxidermist calls me and said, "Hey, your hide's in."
That's convenience.
And I literally told him, I'm like, "Oh, that's funny because I know the post office doesn't do deliveries at 9 a.m. on a Monday." You know, like,
right.
and this was picked up on a Friday. So what the fuck?
It could come Saturday.
He's not open Saturdays. Yeah, this guy's been a shit show. I mean, he does a good job, but actually, he doesn't even do it. He fucking farms it out to somebody else, which I found out, which
This the
really
same-
pissed me off.
Same place that I got my deer at,
Yeah,
down in Victoria.
yep,
Yeah.
it really pissed me.
And see, that's when you want to figure out who he's farming it out to.
I
'Cause you know
already
there's-
knew.
You know there's a
Here's the
40 or
worst part.
50%
I
price
already
increase.
fucking knew who he brought it to, but because of word of mouth and the people that I know, I sent it to this dude. This dude sent it to the fucking other guys that I know. Yeah, so the one I got this year is at the,
Markup's a bitch.
the guys that I know, and now I know what I fucking pay for it. And I had big feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know, you got to learn sometimes. You got to pay to learn.
This is the medulla oblongata.
Yeah, or what was of it. But that's why you shoot them right here,
Yeah.
because that part, the brainstem, connects to the spinal cord coming out right there.
That's what
Yep.
makes him so angry.
But there's no armor right there.
Look at all those
That's the
teeth.
only spot.
No toothbrush.
Right? I can't wait to get the one I got back this year, because I think I clipped the crown with the bullet, and
Oh.
so I'm intrigued to see if there's
So-
a little half moon.
Let me get this right.
Yeah.
That's the only place they don't have armor.
Yep.
So God in his infinite wisdom,
Yep.
says we need to incorporate an off switch to this thing
Yes.
that I'm about to create.
Yes. 100%.
I'm going to put it right behind there.
I'm going to put it right here.
Because they're fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Well, your typical like deer kill shot, right? Right behind the shoulder and the rib cage, the whole nine. That's not really how it works for gators. Like they have vitals that are in there, but
They just don't care.
it's not like if you don't get that perfect fucking shot on the side that you can't see because it's under the water.
Yeah.
You're just gonna piss that fucking thing off and it's just gonna swim. Like there's gators that I've seen that have 3 legs because they got one ripped off by another gator and it's still alive.
And they're like,
I've seen them that have they have growths on the side of their jaw from a hook that was stuck in them for years and their bone just grew around the hook.
Yeah.
Like these things don't die.
yeah, they're fucking, some of the most resilient animals.
Yeah.
on
Well,
the
it's something
planet.
like no evolutionary chain in the last like 230 million years.
Yeah.
Like they're
This
the
gator
same.
took 3 9mm rounds right there, right in the back of the head. 3 9mm fucking solid point, not hollow point, right fucking there. We pulled it out of the water, we put it on the bridge. And I put a pelican in its mouth to take pictures. So I thought it was dead. And I watched it put pressure on that pelican. And I watched the whole entire body move. And I grabbed a 40 cal from one of the guys that was there and put a 40 round through it. And we picked the gator up to put it on the fucking the trailer. And in the wood was that 40 cal round. Right.
So it went straight through.
It went straight through. But when I shot it on the bridge with a 9mm and it did not go through.
Yeah.
So it had 3 9mm bullets inside its fucking head.
and was still trying
And
to
was still like,
brain.
fuck you, bro, you know? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they're tough as fuck, man.
Yeah. So you send me videos when you do the dog and knife hunt for one of those.
Right?
I wouldn't want to use the dogs. I love dogs too much.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a snack for these fuckers. Dog back, ruff, ruff, and that's it. Gone. The dog disappeared.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck happened?
That's why it surprises me that William keeps as many dogs as he does down there.
Oh, they. So like you see the videos in like Florida of like the gator going across the road.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have roads on this ranch, but in Florida it's different because they're so desensitized to people because they have to cohabitate with them.
Yeah.
But if you find a gator, like you see a gator in a neighborhood and you walk up to it, it's just going to look at you. You go into the Everglades and you see a gator and you try to get close to it.
Yeah,
it's fucking, no, it's gone.
Oh yeah.
You're not food to a gator.
You're right.
It's defensive if you fuck with it, but
Right.
it knows that, okay, that's not food. That's not what I eat. That's not my normal diet. I'm not going after it.
Yeah.
A little dog kind of looks like a raccoon or a pig. Yeah. It's going to eat that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you see like those videos where like the guy's like walking his fucking Pomeranian and his dog just gets
That guy
fucking
is a
snatched.
fucking hero because
the golf.
he kept a cigar in his mouth the whole time as he ripped the gator's fucking mouth open and pulled his dog out.
Saved his dog and then was like, fuck off. It was just like,
Now I was a little gator,
Gross.
but
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
goddamn
dude, when the fucking story gets written, that thing was 9 feet long.
So it doesn't matter if it's little or if it's big. This is, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a good sized gator.
Yeah.
But if you feel those teeth, they look round.
They're not.
But if you
They're
feel
not.
them,
They're sharp.
they're fucking sharp.
Yep.
So when that dude put his hands in and opened that
Yeah.
gator's mouth, I guarantee you he broke skin.
yeah.
And I guarantee you maybe one of those fingers got infected because these gator
They're
mouths
dirty
are
as
nasty.
fuck. They are nasty.
Also keep in
ass.
mind
Well-
all their teeth interlock.
They
So
kill
it's,
things
Yeah.
and then eat them.
They let them rot
Later.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They'll kill a pig or something and just bury it underneath the bank
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks. Just let it get nice and gross.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, softened up.
Yeah.
Well, they can't bite, like they can't tear off a piece of meat.
Right.
And so all they can do is shake their head. And if it's sometimes when they kill on a fresh kill, they can grab chunks and shake
Yeah.
and they'll like rip the rest of the body. The rest of the body will rip it off. Sometimes they can't. That's why they let it rot.
Yeah.
Because once it rots for a little bit, then they do that little bit of a shake and it just comes right apart.
Yeah.
Everybody likes a good tender piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, it's like it's
That's the difference between a fucking
slow and low, except
Yeah.
low, it doesn't regard to temperature,
I-
regards to depth.
I gotta-
They bury it a little low in the river and they let it sit there real long, nice and slow.
I got a question. Do they have like big tongues?
So their whole and their bottom jaw, it's open, right?
Yeah.
So they have skin,
Yeah.
and then the whole thing is taken up by a tongue. but the tongue isn't used, like they can't stick it out.
Is it attached?
It's attached on the bottom, but it's a giant muscle. So they
Yeah.
use it to
It's-
manipulate whatever they put in their mouth and to
Yeah.
get it
It's a
down
conveyor
their throat. Pretty much.
Because I've never seen a gator lick its lips. Like that'd be kind of cool. Like it was good, you know.
Be kind of fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Right?
Gator just pops
Or-
out, just goes.
Or like a dog.
Like,
I'm
done.
A dog has a big snout, and sometimes the tongue hangs out the side. Like
Yeah.
that'd be kind of funny.
Mhm. No, it's way different than a canine. Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, fucking dog had a stroke.
Yeah, that's what she said.
What?
The fuck? Yeah, dude. Tank had a stroke.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He did surprisingly well, actually. The tough little fucker.
Yeah, is his left side a little slow or what?
His left back leg
Yeah,
is still a little wonky.
Wow.
Yeah, like so it was. Justin, you remember as I was leaving here last Tuesday? We recorded on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And as I was leaving here, Haley had called me, and I was on the phone when I dapped you up to say bye.
Yeah.
She'd call me, and the first thing she says, she's like, "Something wrong with Tank." And I'm like, "What's wrong with him?" And she's like, "He can't use his back feet." I'm like, "What the fuck? He can't use his back legs? What the fuck?" Turns out he can use one back leg. Just his other one is tripping the other one, and because he's retarded, he was just dragging his ass in. But she let him outside, normal day, went out there, went to call him back in, and he's all of a sudden she heard something weird on the deck, and he's dragging across the deck. And she's like, "What the fuck?" So she called me. Well, the closest we could get as a appointment was 3:00 the following day. I get there and he's like, "Yep." Weirdly enough, and it made me think of Kira, actually. He goes, "Weirdly enough, this happens most prominently in old black labs."
Yeah.
But it's pretty normal. He's like, "It's strange that he's only 4 years old, so he's pretty young to have it happen to him." He's like, "But he's a bulldog, and everything they do medically gets turned up to fucking 11. So, you know, it's like that. So, but yeah, essentially, because the way their nervous system works, like us, our blood flow, you know, goes heart, brain, and then everything else, right? Dogs goes everything else, then brain, then everything else, right? So it flows in a different direction. So the blood clot was heading towards the back, and the blood clot just clamped off in his spine somewhere in the middle of his back, and it just laid on that side, and he lost fucking use of his left leg. So right when I get there, he gives him an aspirin, and then put him on prednisone, you know, as like a fucking steroid.
Right.
And he goes, my vet's been doing this for like 30 years, and he's like, "Look, man, in 30 years, I can count on one hand how many dogs haven't recovered from this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "So prognosis is good." He's like, "Yeah, it's fine." He's like, "But I mean, for the next couple of weeks, it's gonna suck. You know, he's gonna pee a lot. He's gonna drink a lot. You know, you're gonna have him on these meds. We're trying to knock it the fuck out to loosen up that fucking blood flow and all that. You know." So I got him on meds right now, and he, being him, hasn't skipped a fucking beat. You know, that dog is 70 fucking pounds now.
Jesus Christ!
Like, he's a fucking tank. Aptly named. Just a fucking beast, man. Like, yeah, he's a dense little fucker.
Kira's 86 pounds.
She's twice the size of him, though.
I know.
Like, he's
In height and length.
yeah, he's just dense, man. He's a dense little fucker. But yeah, Kibby remembers Tank. It's basically a dog version of you, dude. Short, dense little fucker. Like, fucking. So if you had a fucking bum knee, that's my dog right now. But yeah, he should be okay. I got to follow up this week with him. And then, you know, but yeah, had a fucking stroke.
That's crazy.
Super weird, man.
Well, I'm glad he's doing okay though.
Yeah. Yeah. I like him. He's a good pooch. Because I was kicking around the idea of taking Scott's dog off his hands. And then I was like, I got bulldogs stroking out on me and shit. I don't know if it's a good idea.
All of our bulldogs have been super healthy, though. We've never had an issue with any of them.
Dude, that video you sent me of Daisy, she's like a merge of all three of my dogs into one dog.
Yeah.
Like, because she acts like bulldogs, and two of mine are bulldogs. Like, with the fucking pap and everything. That's Coco. She does that.
Yeah.
Her fucking sweetness is like Tessie, who, Jazz will back that up, is the sweetest animal on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And then fucking, she's got the energy of Tank. Like, "Hey, what's up?"
She's got the energy for 10 minutes and then it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's bursts.
Like, she won't even, I try to let her out here and she'll like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done."
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so
Oh, I can't take
it's been 3.5 minutes, dog.
It's like, dude, I don't know how people take bulldogs for walks, because mine are like,
Oh, they don't.
no, dude, like, I'll take Tank around a block.
That's why
About
bulldogs.
halfway through, he's like, "I'm finished."
That's why bulldogs are good on skateboards.
right.
Mine are too dumb to do that.
Huh?
That's cool.
Speaking of dogs, I think I have another dog. I just don't physically have this other dog yet. So the Womacs have a rescue, and they rescue Bassets, right? And so one of their dogs they got last year, they got these 2 puppies.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember those 2.
One of them already has a home, and the other one, Delilah, is still there. Delilah is the black and white one, and they're half Basset, half Pit, and she's the biggest fucking sweetheart in the entire world.
Yeah.
Every time I'm down there, she's just like, it's my dog.
Yeah.
And so for a while, William and Jess were like, fucking stop petting our dog. Like, it's not yours, And then this weekend, they're like, you're going to take your fucking dog or what? And I'm like, I can't have another dog right now.
Yeah. I had a Basset growing up. What a great dog.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun.
When it got older, it was so lazy. It would lay in front of the door, and you literally would open the door and slide it across the fucking floor, and it wouldn't even move. Like, wouldn't even pick its head up. Like, whatever. Like,
yep.
My aunt had I guess it wasn't a Basset, it was a Beagle. Yeah, it was a Beagle, but it was funny. She let my cousin name it, and it was when he was a baby, like learning how to talk. And he named it so like, how like when you get purebreds, how like in those like fancy bloodlines you have to have like a remnants of the name of the mother in your dog's name, or whatever. So like the dog's mom's name was Diamond Lil, which is a fucking stupid name. So they had to have some kind of thing. So the dog's official name on paper was Diamond Baby Woo Woo, because that was all my cousin Gary could say. I called it a woo woo. I was like, that's adorable, but at the same time, kind of annoying.
Basset puppies are awesome.
Yeah.
Because you get them running, and their ears are like almost
they're full size.
They're full size ears when they're puppies.
They just trip over their ears.
So they literally like you'll get them running at you. They'll step on their ear. It'll pull their head into the ground, and they'll do a fucking cartwheel. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
What the fuck? I can't find that picture. It's gonna annoy the piss out of me.
So when do you guys think, I know we've already been going for a little bit and all over the fucking place, but when do you guys think World War III is kicking off?
Fucking soon, I hope. This one?
Yep, that one.
That's your dog?
Yep, Delilah.
Let me see.
It's a sweet baby. That's her as a fucking little
She's
puppy.
a little puppy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That picture was taken January 10th. They were about 6 weeks old. It was when they first got them back.
Yep.
They were still quarantined.
Yeah. But yeah, when do you guys think World War III is kicking off?
Fucking, I hope so. I hope soon.
Do you think it's going to de-escalate?
So here's the thing, man. I'm seeing all of this, pro-Palestinian talk and all this, and they're like, oh, there's innocent people there in the Gaza Strip and all this. And maybe it's just my head, but I started thinking, I was like, all right, we're all Americans.
Yeah.
We're all voters. If we vote into power, let's say we voted Hitler into power, who's culpable? Is it Hitler for being a douchebag or the people who put him in power?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's innocent? If he goes out and does atrocities, who's innocent? Are the people innocent? Because it's a good question. Because everybody's like, oh, there's innocent people here. It's like those same innocent people put Hamas in charge.
The easy loophole in that is you're assuming 100% vote for that person.
Agreed.
Oh,
Very true. Like right now,
and you're assuming there was more than
like
more choices than the worst 2 choices that we're presented with.
And there's also, it's not like it's a democracy there either.
I guarantee you in the 7 person in this room, we do not have 100% that voted for our current president. But by your argument,
we have 100% that voted against.
But by your argument, you're culpable for everything the president does.
Let's see. That's
your argument.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like I understand.
I think you need to. I heard that I'm going to regurgitate some news because it kind of made sense to me, right?
Okay.
I think you need to remove the fact that the Palestinians, not all of them are part of Hamas, right?
Yeah.
So if you think of Hamas as an independent entity from Palestine, then you can wrap your head around it a little bit better, right?
I think we need to recognize that there's no such place called Palestine anymore.
So okay,
I get that.
now
but
the simplest way to break it down in layman's terms about how it's structured over there is Gaza is run by the Palestinians, right? Can we all agree on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
the West Bank, it's run by the Palestinians. That's who was the separation of those two places from Israel was because of the Palestinians.
So the West Bank's ran by Jordan, right?
But the
Governed by
but
Jordan.
the Palestinians are the people that live in both locations.
Yes.
Okay. So the Palestinians didn't organize themselves in a way to conduct their own government and to be able to sustain and run their own locations that they have. So Hamas was there and recruited from the Palestinians to create originally an entity that governed those areas. And the way Hamas governed those areas was, we're going to bring in supplies, we're going to bring in things, we're going to create a peace on our own streets from our own people.
okay.
Because the Palestinians didn't have a government entity that was set up in that way, per se. They didn't have somebody that stepped up and was
Right.
going to be a leader and say, hey, look, like we need to get our shit under control and we can't be lawless anymore.
By the way, this is exactly how you end up with an HOA.
It's fucking verbatim. Fucking batum.
Normally, I'm not pro HOA.
I love the analogy
Yeah.
that Palestine or
No,
that
no, no, no.
Hamas,
Hamas is the
is an
HOA.
HOA. That's the greatest
it.
shit I've ever heard.
Hamas is Palestine's HOA. That's all it is.
Yes.
You got a
No
bunch
other
of fucking Karens, but instead of sending letters, they send bullets and rockets.
Hamas is nothing more
Fuck.
than an HOA.
That is fucking funny. God damn it.
But that's how Hamas got to where they're at, right?
Yeah.
They went in there in the Palestinians' eyes. They went in there as, hey, we're going to be the governing body, and we're going to take away the lawlessness streets and neighborhoods that are here,
Yeah.
and we're gonna instill a little bit of discipline, a little bit of laws.
Sounds like
And-
the Taliban.
That's exactly what the fuck they are. No, it really is.
It fucking
Right.
is.
Everybody's lawn is the same height if there is no fucking lawn.
Exactly. But in the Palestinians' eyes, it was for lack of better words, the only option,
Right.
because nobody else stepped up, and there are 2 million people that are in their fucking area to be like, hey, look, you know what? Maybe there's a better way we can do this for our own sake.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And then Hamas started getting funding from everywhere else, and then they have obviously a militaristic influence.
Well, the problem is that
and
Hamas
an
is
agenda.
Hamas is a known and has been a known terrorist group for fucking years,
Well,
right?
Okay, but why are they a
Like-
terrorist group? So I think that
On the 3 basic tenets of their charter.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. But so
The eradication. I heard somebody call the Israelis Nazis. This is your generation, Justin.
Yeah.
I want you to know how fucking stupid they
Well,
are.
I love that they call it an apartheid. Like the Israelis are doing an ethnic cleansing of Gaza. Like there's people that fucking believe it.
if you want to know who's good or bad, it's easy. If Palestine gave up all their weapons and quit fighting today, that would be
Be
the
number one.
end of it. If Israel gave up all their weapons and quit fighting today,
There'd be
they
no
would
more
be
Israel.
wiped out tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you know if it's who's good and bad here.
It's pretty easy.
It's pretty fucking easy.
I agree.
Now,
Do you know the other thing that'll let you know who's good and bad? Which one of the two groups is willing to show their face?
Right.
Right? Right?
now this
I'm in front of
gonna-
a camera like this.
I'm gonna
You're
hate-
wearing a ski mask.
I'm going to hate to tell you this. If you have to hide your identity, you're not a good guy.
now the hardest part about this conflict,
Fucking
is-
special forces operators.
there are
By the way, way to go, White House.
Yeah. Jesus.
Fucking blowing their spot up.
there are Palestinians
Fucking
That-
morons.
don't want this happening. And
Sure.
there are Palestinians that just want to fucking live and do their own thing. And
Yep.
they're caught in the middle of everything that's going on.
Are they though? That's my question.
Yes.
Are they? Because
Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Egypt.
No,
opened-
Egypt's like, fuck you.
No, Egypt's closed their borders.
They closed it?
Well, fuck yeah. They closed it
They closed
day
like
the
the
shit
day,
happened.
a day it started.
And they're like, we will not take any of you.
See, that's
So now
Fuck.
here's the thing that
What?
really throws all of this into a what's the word I'm looking for? A regional conflict.
That makes me wonder why.
This is why, right?
There's the
because
question, right?
Nobody that's around there, nobody in that area wants Israel there. So if they allow people to leave Gaza, Israel takes over.
Yeah.
There's now no more Gaza. Israel has more land. They have more power. They have more whatever the fuck.
If I'm not mistaken, Israel volunteered to give up the land.
They did.
In the first place.
4 different times.
And the last time they did it.
History, 4 different times.
The last time they did
200 years or something.
They all came to Camp David in the United States to broker a deal. And the leader of Gaza at the time backed out of the deal because the surrounding countries wouldn't accept the deal that was brokered, for lack of better words.
What do they call it? The 3 no's? It's the big 3 no's. It's
So essentially, Israel was willing to go like, you know what? We don't want to fight.
We're going to do 2 states. We're going to do it like this.
Take the land and you do your thing. We'll be us. You be you. Everything's groovy. Yeah. And the neighbors were like, no, fuck that. We're not recognizing this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, why?
But so right now, back to Mikey's point about or my point, maybe Mikey's, about the regional aspect of things and why Egypt isn't taking anybody from Gaza. If they did, Israel would take over Gaza. And it would now become part of Israel. And all the Palestinians would leave. Hamas would be wiped out. The world would be fucking okay. Except every other bordering country that is a Muslim country that borders Israel doesn't want this happening. And they would rather have a regional war and take out Israel than they would to make peace.
They tried that.
And allow this to happen.
And Israel beat their asses in 6 days.
Exactly.
They tried that before.
Right? And so... But if those surrounding countries wanted to de-escalate, they could, but they don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they don't recognize
It's the same
Israel
reason that Israel and Saudi Arabia was brokering a deal, and then all this shit went down right about the time they were almost brokering the deal, because they don't want Saudi Arabia to broker a deal with Israel because it takes away the power from the region of the Muslim-run countries. Like, there's so much that's going on in this that people have no idea that's actually happening.
So why?
And they're like, no, we need to free Palestine.
Why?
Like, no, you don't understand what the fuck's going on in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Why do Muslims hate Jews?
They don't. So here's the thing about the Muslim religion.
Because Abraham kicked out Ishmael.
Here's the thing about the Muslim religion.
That's why.
That is the only religion.
Right.
So,
And until everybody in the world believes in that religion,
right.
there's going to be an issue.
Yep.
Period.
Until all the infidel is
concept
gone.
of Islam is a religion of peace.
Hit him with the psyop, dog, because I know you studied this shit.
Yeah.
I know you had to know
So
this.
there's a concept and a rhetoric that is projected as Islam is a religion of peace. The rest of that phrase is essentially Islam is a religion of peace because when everybody is a Muslim,
Right.
we will have peace.
Exactly.
That's actually the rest of that phrase. Now, where you have to dig further into it and you have to look at Islamic regime.
Right.
I am not saying the Islamic religion. Yes, having a deity forms a religion. However, Islam and its principal tenets have the format and setup as a governing body. Islam is a formation of government. It is a form of governance. It is a form of
Control.
of how to create territory, use that territory to become a sovereign state. That's why you have the reflection in a lot of these flags. So many of those countries, why there's green in the flag,
Right.
that is an Islamic representation, that is the governing force in that country.
Right.
If you want to see that, Iran is actually a prime example of what happens. Is you had an incredibly ahead of the curve, advanced, understanding country until the 80s.
Yeah.
And then they recognized Islam as the governing body within Iran, and Iran fell to what it is now.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way, this is not everybody just needs their space. This is literally
You're fighting a belief, man.
the imperialistic aspect of the Islamic world is to continue to take over space to spread Islam.
Good luck.
It is not we can live side by side.
Right.
And look, I'm just going to lay out, this is not a whatever. This is if you want to go figure out why these tenets work the way they are and why the Quran, people like to quote it, they cherry pick it.
Right.
You also need to look at the structure of the Quran.
I mean, let's be fair.
So
people cherry pick the Bible too.
I'll shit all over Christians.
Every
Don't get me wrong.
religious scriptures cherry pick.
I am fair game when it comes to shitting on religion.
Yeah.
Um,
Same dog.
but
I'm Catholic.
the Quran is structured from smallest book to largest book. It is not in timeline order.
Okay.
So if you rearrange the Quran into the timeline order, and everybody says, no, Muhammad was a prophet of peace, he was
in the beginning.
And then he became a warlord. And then it became, there is only Islam.
Yep.
So you need to go look up like the passage of the sword and everything. And that is literally a name for a passage from the book. And the passage of the sword literally says that you are to hunt down, convert, and lay trap for all of those that do not believe. And it's convert or die. Like
and
those,
and it's perfectly like acceptable in their religion
To lie.
It's like if the Catholics like just fully leaned into the Spanish Inquisition and never let that go.
yeah, it's called the Crusades.
Yeah, but like still to this day, if they were still doing that, it would be like that, essentially.
But so when you look at that format, and there it is perfectly allowable in their religion to break their tenets, to lie in order to infiltrate, get more information, and then convert the non-believer. This is not an anti Jewish aspect. It's not an anti-Christian aspect. It's not an anti-Hindu aspect. It is literally you do not believe, not even believe, you do not follow the tenets of Islam.
Right.
So thus, my job is either to convert you or eliminate you.
Right.
That's it. So it's not that they hate Jews. They hate everybody.
Which surprises me, though, is because Jesus is in the Quran. Like
He's
Jesus
recognized as a
is recognized as a prophet
So one of the
in the
most
Quran.
As a
one of the most interesting things about the Quran too is it was written by one person over their one lifetime.
Yeah.
Where like the Bible is a series of stories over a period of time that were collected together.
Yeah.
So
they've also historically factualized like moments in the Bible, right? Like the Philistines being attacked by the Israelites.
But those are recognized. That's Old Testament story, and that's recognized in multiple religions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So and so you'll see there's a lot of action taking place now. There's a lot of media that's coming out in the United States, a lot of peaceful talks and all this kind of stuff about like there's no real difference between us. It's all the God of Abraham. It's just which one is recognized. Jesus is recognized as a great man and a prophet of the Lord because he also followed the God of Abraham and da. And all of that is to generate cognitive dissonance so that you're able to listen and look at how familiar that is. This is the same way the Catholic Church, when it expanded into what they now know as pagan areas and started borrowing tradition from other religions to make transference easier because you recognized something and found something familiar.
That's why Jesus' birthday is in December now instead of April, I believe, originally, right?
Yeah, based on the actual star position and stuff, it should have been sometime in the spring. But instead they followed the winter equinox, and that's when Christmas became, because that's winter solstice. That's winter solstice.
Winter solstice, yeah.
So it's interesting to look at the behavior structure of it, and all of it is about it's expansionism and imperialism. It's not religion. And so I have said for a long time,
and that's the Crusades. Those
that follow Islam, there's only two types. There are those that understand it and are lying to you about it, or there are those that drank the Kool-Aid and don't understand their fucking religion. And those are the only two types there are. And so the ones that are honest about it join organizations like Hamas and cover their face and go and kill people. Those are the ones that are actually practicing their political beliefs in the way that their political structure has informed them to do it. So,
and it's not just Hamas; it's Al Qaeda. They were following it to the T. Yeah. ISIS followed it to the T. We call them terrorists. They're just doing their thing.
Is it like being a Mason, where it's like a secret society and they have to ask you like questions to know if you're a Mason or not? Like, if somebody's going to come up and like, I'm going to kill you if you're not Muslim. And I'm like, I'm Muslim.
No, it's 3:00. You start fucking bowing towards the east.
So
what are you doing on Thursday?
Banging a goat. Or a dude. Either way.
With something like Masonry, you can find a Masonic lodge in the phone book. It's not, I mean, like,
I can find a mosque in a phone book too.
They're not covering their face.
Any of that kind of stuff. you have to stop looking at it as religion, and you have to start looking at it as political management. It is not a religious structure. It is a system of government, and you have to start looking at it that way.
See, and I think that is why the separation of church and state is so fucking important.
Yeah, of course.
It's so fucking important.
And yet not exercised anywhere.
Exactly.
Not as much as it should, in my opinion.
It's not exercised anywhere. There's nowhere where it's...
Look at your money.
In God we trust.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not separation of church and state. Now, do I think you should have a moral basis for governing? Yes. And a lot of good morals come from religion.
I
but
100% agree with you. If religion can give you a moral compass that is a recognizable morality that other people can look at and recognize and respect,
right,
then absolutely, I think it's a great source for it.
Fucking I.
But if your morality starts turning into, because your opinion differs, then, well, I'm standing by my morals by acting like a piece of shit. And it's like,
well, yeah, like that, you know, I think, yeah, if your religion says either I convert you to my religion or I must eliminate you, that's bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty cut and dry,
and to be honest with you on that point, that's, and that's when, I'm going to say it and everybody's going to freak out because I'm going to use the P word and everybody's going to lose their fucking mind. As soon as you start viewing Islam as a system of government and not a religion, system of government, there's a reason that people say like religion is the opiate of the masses. Well, if you can turn religion into a government, you end up with outstanding government control because the fervor that ends up happening doesn't have to be logical. It can be completely passionate. As soon as you start viewing it as a system of government, this is what happens with out of control patriotism.
Yeah.
And yes, I said the P word.
Well,
there are such a thing as horrible fucking patriots.
But I agree with you.
They're called threepers.
when you remove logic and you base anything off of emotion, it's usually bad.
Yes.
And I have not been proven wrong about that in my lifetime.
Well, yeah, you can't really remove logic from anything and expect it to have a positive outcome, right? Like there has to be common sense somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And that,
all right. And I know
like,
and I want to be clear, he is not saying you have to delete emotion from the decision.
It's so
it has to be a balance.
But you can't, you can't base it
both
decision.
In the psychotherapy world, it's called using a wise mind.
Yep.
So you have emotion mind and you have logical mind. And using 100% of either is not a good idea.
Right.
Correct.
But you work as a human being to be able to get to the end goal of being able to use a wise mind where you incorporate logic and emotion in the decisions and things that you make and influence.
Well, sometimes it's just really nice being a sociopath. Yeah, man.
Well, so let's get it down and put it in complete layman's terms. If you have ever made a decision where you said like, I don't know, man, it was a gut feeling. That is perfect balance of emotional response and logical throughput.
Yeah.
That's your gut feeling that made you make the decision. That's a perfect balance.
I also think that you have to have some beliefs and you have to be able to stand by your beliefs, right? Now,
so there's a difference between being closed-minded with beliefs, though, and open-minded with beliefs.
Right. Because if you take that statement I just said and you apply it to Islam, right?
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I do have a little bit of respect for that. Like
I respect the discipline,
right? Like you're standing by your fucking beliefs.
Yeah.
Now,
dude, Sun Tzu said it. You either respect your enemy or you die.
Yeah.
You need to respect your enemy.
So the easiest way to explain the thought process between the different mindsets is your emotional mind is I'm gonna go to the bar tonight and I'm gonna get fucked up until the bar closes and I'm gonna get in a fight. Right? Your wise mind or your logical mind.
Only if they tell me to put my phone down.
Your logical mind is I'm not going to go to the bar tonight because I could get a DUI on my way home.
Right.
Your wise mind is I'm going to go to the bar tonight and I'm going to have 3 drinks and then go home and I won't get into a fight and I won't get a DUI.
Right.
That's the easiest way to explain it.
Yep. Yeah. So
I guess that's where I go to religion, John. Because I let Jesus take the wheel.
Oh, that's when you go to emotional mind where fuck it. Let's have a good time tonight.
Which weirdly enough is the exact same thing. Fuck. Yeah, dude.
Just be a good moral person and stand by good morals.
The whole,
if your moral is I'm going to kill this guy for not believing the same thing as me, you can go fuck yourself.
So, but the
my morals say I'm going to kill you for wanting to kill him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but morally, morally, that is acceptable,
right?
Where they live,
you're
morally for us.
You're getting the societal difference.
You're getting the societal definition of morality.
Yeah,
and societal morality societal morality. It doesn't exist in the same two places anywhere on this planet.
No,
well, you know what it is? It's ethics, right? Jazz, what's the definition of ethics? At its purest form.
Or Justin, we can.
It's what you think is right.
I know.
Well,
hey Google.
The definition of ethics is what you think is right or wrong.
Okay.
Well,
and my ethics, and your ethics, and your ethics, and your ethics might be vastly fucking different. Yeah. But I believe that I'm doing the right thing.
So you're defining personal ethics.
Yeah, but that's ethics in its raw form, right? Is what you think is right or wrong.
You have societal ethics.
Well, what's the definition of ethics there, Justin? Let's see here. Ethics.
A set of moral principles that govern a person's behavior, conducting an activity.
Yeah.
But you have societal ethics, which is a set of moral guidelines that govern a society. So,
because you're right. Because if I went based on just my ethics, there would be a lot more dead people in this world.
Yeah.
So societal ethics,
and nobody would wear shirts. It's weird.
So I got my door knocked on. One morning. I answered it, and
you found Jesus.
There was an evangelistic set of people on the other side. Now, I personally revel in the fact that these people like to knock on my door, and I invite them in every time, and I make them coffee, and because I'm like you, because you've made my
psychopath.
You've made my whole day. My whole day.
I hope you offer coffee to the Mormons.
I did. And so, and they came in and
whiskey.
Look, I've known people from a lot of religions and had friends from a lot of religions and da. But again, I said earlier, all religion to me is equal opportunity. So I invited him in.
It's fair game.
I had the conversation with him, and we sat and talked for like 2 hours. Went back and forth, and I quoted different books. I quoted different.
You turn it into a game. You're like, they're trying to convert me. I'm going to convert them.
I'm going to see what I can do. Right.
Yeah, I used to do this to Mormon
missionaries when I was. But at the end of it, they were like,
"It's the best."
Well, this has been wonderful. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Do you have any questions? And I said, yes. I have one last question, and I do not expect an answer. And when you have an answer, come back and knock on my door again, and we'll have this conversation. And I looked at him and I said,
"What that mouth do?"
If you were not raised in your faith system, would you be part of that faith system right now?
Right. Yeah. Are you a born again, or are you
and the naturally thing is that in a lot of these, there was no option. I mean, you have to look at in our country how closed loop a lot of these religions get. Like all of your family friends all go to the same church you do. All of your friends belong to your youth group. All of your you live in the communities that are all like-minded, and it's all.
I'd like to point out that at one point or another, Jazz's plan was to be a youth pastor.
Yep.
Dude, I grew up
until he gained the knowledge.
I grew up super religious, and then I met the dark side of Islam, and now
it makes you question religion.
It makes me question organized religion.
What should really make you question it is you can look at Islam. And the thing is the biggest hater of the Islamic faith is Christians. Just bar none, it's by far the biggest group that hates the Islamic.
You would think it'd be the Jews. It's not. It's not.
The Jews don't give a fuck.
No, it's Christians.
They're like, go do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just Christians don't fuck with us.
So
it's like historically, we've been fucked with a lot.
I'm going to go ahead and say this because I already know I'm the least popular one on this show. So I'm going to go ahead and say it because what are you going to do? Hate me some more? Christians and Muslims pray to the same God.
Facts.
So if that God is not stopping this, then that means the God you pray to must be fucking okay with it because it's the same structure. So go figure that out, and you get back to me when you have an answer.
I think that's the biggest question. Like, as a Christian, it's always why would God allow this horrible thing to happen? Whatever
Yahweh, that trick.
Insert horrible thing there, right?
Yeah.
And so what's the answer to why would God allow?
God has a plan.
Do you want the
God has
Christian
a-
answer?
Yeah. I know the Christian.
God
Because he
has a
works in
plan.
a mysterious way.
Yeah,
And he has a plan.
Which,
Right?
Yep.
Like, come
by
on.
the way, that is the biggest cop-out answer on the fucking.
I agree.
Sure.
How else are
I-
you going to convince someone?
I agree.
Matter of fact-
it's a fucking cop out answer.
I took questions when I wanted to be a youth pastor. I took questions to my pastor, and I was like, "Hey, I've done this other research. I've read. I went and I read the Torah. I read the Quran. I read the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I read
Great read, by the way.
I read the story of Horus. I read I've read all of these other things, and I'm seeing a lot of identical mythos that predates the mythos that's being taught within this religion.
Right.
Why do we know we're correct? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I going to teach this?
Yeah.
When I've looked at it and realized that the originality of the parables that we're pushing do not belong to this faith. These are all borrowed from somewhere else. And the answer I got back from a man of the cloth, the one that had written my sponsor letter for me to go to Concordia, the whole 9 yards, said,
Concordia in Nebraska.
Concordia Lutheran.
Yeah, that's in Nebraska.
Yeah. So I was going to go spend 4 years,
Yeah.
do the whole 9 yards. And the answer I got back was, well, that's a faith question. And I was like,
It's a question of
okay, that's
Yeah.
welcome.
that's
You
it.
sure this wasn't Catholicism?
You know,
Because that
so
sounds
right
awfully
there,
fucking Catholicist.
That Lutheran pastor right there turned me into an agnostic in one fucking answer. And I didn't really find a faith structure that really worked for me for 20 years. I mean, it was 20 years of searching. It was 20 years of
Yeah. So it's not like you aren't.
We just said he's an agnostic. He
No,
believes in
yeah.
something.
no. At that moment, he made me an agnostic. I am not an agnostic now.
No.
So
Full blown atheist.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not an atheist either.
How would you? Personal question, and you don't have to answer.
I'll answer. I have no shame.
But personal views.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel?
I'm a practicing Norse pagan.
I don't know what that is.
I believe
Explains why he started growing his beard so long.
It's the closest thing to like a traditional Viking ideology.
So Norse,
in layman's terms.
By the way,
for the pop culture reference, yes, it's a Viking ideology. It predates the 120 years that the Vikings were running around.
Yeah.
Norse paganism it's still a parable based teaching. It's all pulled from a thing called the Prose Edda, which
Right.
is a huge poem.
Is
It's the story of Odin, his children, all
Right.
of that kind of
it
stuff.
was created before people started killing each other because of religion.
Right.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
in
I will say,
in its original form, it's an incredibly peaceful religion.
Norse
Yeah.
pagans probably the least amount of body count in the name of God.
They never fought for.
Yeah.
They fought for land.
The second people started murdering each other in fucking the name of God.
Yeah.
If I was God, I'd have a problem with that.
The funny thing is,
Right.
the Norse got hired a lot, like got paid to go fight for people in the name of God.
That's
Matter of fact, in the combat of so we're all familiar with the city of Budapest, right?
No.
So you know there used to be two cities. It was on each side of the river. One was Buda, one was Pest, and they had two different religions, and they fought each other. One side actually hired the Norse to come in and fight for them as mercenaries. And so when they started excavating a lot of these buildings and stuff like that, they found like Norse graffiti, and it was the equivalent to like Olaf was here. It was pretty fucking.
Yeah.
They found a bunch of dicks that were drawn
Of course.
everywhere, and it's just
Yeah.
like, yep,
Yep,
the
those
Joe is
were-
going to be
those-
the Joe.
Those were Marines.
Viking.
Same thing.
Same shit, dude.
The Viking Age was just shy of 200 years long. The actual Viking Age,
And they actually went. You know what fucking bugs me? We need a Viking Day instead of Columbus Day.
Yeah,
If you're going to be historically
fair,
accurate,
Yeah.
the Vikings fucking discovered this side of the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, we found a bunch of ways,
But
to
they
do stuff
didn't
in, like,
colonize
Minnesota
it.
and shit. But they didn't. They came over.
No, because that's not their fucking thing.
Well, they were.
But that's
looking-
why we don't celebrate it.
Well, everybody always thinks about Vikings as raping and pillaging. No, they would join a society. They would integrate. They would intermarry. They would
You
fucking bring
integrate
their-
by raping.
No,
They weren't though.
Actually, they would marry in and then they would fuck themselves into the population.
Yeah.
And so, but it wasn't a rape thing.
Dude, I'm
literally they
I'm
would marry
6'1",
in.
225, and I'm pure Irish.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that there's some Norse in me.
Yeah.
let's just talk about it based on the TV series. Look, for all the female listeners that are out there,
No.
if one of those Vikings came into your tent one day and wanted to have sex, would you say
Oh no, Step Odin. Oh,
would
no.
you say no? They might have pillaged, but they didn't rape.
Now, some of the stuff from that show is accurate.
There wasn't a lot of no's getting thrown out.
Some of that show is
I
accurate.
guess.
Like the female leadership,
Mhm.
most of the women actually handled the finances and land management and all that kind of
It
stuff.
makes perfect
And
sense.
Another cool thing
they
about
also
that faith,
they also fought.
like the Valkyrie,
So it's the
fucking elite women warriors,
Yeah.
man.
mm,
And I'm talking elite.
those are maidens. Valkyries were actually they're the bridge. So they're the ones that if you die with honor, they're the ones that escort you. They choose who on the battlefield, if you die, gets to go to Valhalla and who just gets left behind.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you don't die on her, then you're fucked.
This is my beef with the Till Valhalla shit. Because it's like, you have to die in combat
Right.
Well, you have to die with honor.
with honor.
Yeah.
If you kill yourself.
But imagine,
Sorry, guys.
imagine a society.
By the way, do you know what happens if you make it to Valhalla? Like what the purpose of Valhalla is?
It's just
It's drinking, isn't it?
No. You're the reserve unit. So if you make it to Valhalla, you are held in reserve until Ragnarok. So that when Ragnarok happens, they can pull the warriors that died with honor and they get to go fight in the afterlife to try and win
so
Ragnarok.
now you get to fight undead.
You were literally
You know what?
you get pulled and stationed as the reserve force.
I'm kind of into that.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
kind of into
At
that.
least you know what's going to happen.
It's like retiring from life and then going to the fucking National Guard.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
like
That's
What-
why you're
what-
fist pumping over here.
Yeah. What happens if you just start out in the National Guard?
Poser.
Yeah.
The active duty guys talk a lot of shit.
there was actually there was a tradition for those that didn't travel to go fight because they didn't take everybody. It wasn't like a lot of people volunteered. That's why a lot of Viking weaponry that we know now, the axes and stuff like that, it's just like that was a wood splitting maul. That was just like what you had.
Do you,
It's not a
do you want to
thing.
hear something interesting?
But there was a tradition for those that stayed by that like fished, farmed,
Yep.
did all that kind of stuff. At the end of their life, to die with honor, would just pitch themselves off fucking cliffs. Like it was just like a bye. And, like,
Marine Corps doctrine with the MEU, like Marine Expeditionary Units and everything, pulled heavily from Viking tradition of not bringing everybody and bringing elite forces out to go and do raiding parties.
Right.
That's where the Marine Corps actually got doctrine
yeah.
for fucking MEUs.
But
but I also believe what you were talking about the people that don't go.
I just made that
In
up.
order for
but you
them to
believe it.
die with honor, they have to throw themselves
they
off
have
the
to
cliff.
follow.
I was thinking that sounds more
But
like
they
a
also
scout
do
unit.
that at old age, so
Yeah.
that way somebody doesn't have. They're not a burden.
You're not
on
a
somebody
burden on
else.
society.
Yep.
Now
I'm good with that.
that is Viking culture stuff. If you want Norse pagan, the practice that I use, the reason that I'm attracted to it is you get to pick what makes sense to you, the principles and representation of that deity, and it's a personal practice. There is no you get together in a group. There is no let me sing a song. There is none of that. There are gatherings. There is all that kind of stuff, but it's a like-minded gathering.
So as a whole here, us four, do we believe that there's a higher power?
Yes.
I believe there is something greater than me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I believe there's one individual God that I have to worship? No.
Yeah. And
So I think there is, right? But I think
Like there's always a guy
over
in
the
charge.
course of history, that's been diluted into so many different things.
so
But
you're saying there's a dude, you just don't know who it is.
Not necessarily a dude.
Well, there's a
right.
something.
Yeah.
You just don't necessarily know who it is anymore.
Right. That's why I don't like organized religions, because even like I was born Lutheran Christian, right? But there's like different
Were you
synods.
Were you Missouri Synod?
Yeah, I was.
I was too.
Yeah, right. But there's different
Fucking nerds.
But there's,
No, I just learned so much about why he is the way he
Right.
is.
but there's different Lutheran Christians. Like there's
Yep.
and then there's different Christians.
There's like the
And then
there's
Christian
the
also
ELCA. and all
Christian
those-
also falls under Catholicism. And then, where did the Catholics come from? Like it all has to come from somewhere,
Mhm.
So I think there is something.
It's
And
still
that's what happened to me is that the
Yeah,
more
good
I
cigar.
dug,
Right.
right? Because I was raised a Lutheran, wanted to go to Concordia,
Mhm.
and be in the Missouri Synod and be a youth pastor in the whole 9 yards. And the more I dug,
that's why I knew where Concordia was.
That's why the more I dug, the more it turned into, okay, but this story that I've been told was part of my religion.
Yeah.
Is this fucking story from this religion that predates that one by 2,000 years.
Yeah.
But then that story has one that's identical to it that predates it by another 1,200 years.
Right.
And like the more and more I went back, the more and more I was like, none of this shit is original.
Enter
Like,
the book of Enoch.
Well, that's like,
Yeah, it's
like
wild.
me growing up. My dad's side of my family is Jewish. My mom's side of my family is Catholic. So right out the gate, I got exposed to two different religions.
And completely.
Same God though.
But it doesn't matter. Like learning about both of them, you're like, wait,
yeah, because the Catholics like to claim that they're just essentially Jewish chapter 2.
right? But it's
They're-
just,
they're
but
not.
even still, like
Pretty accurate.
it gives you enough. I wouldn't really call it doubt, but
Pretty accurate.
it gives you enough questions
Yeah.
to be like, okay, I am supposed to believe in this, or I'm supposed to believe in this.
Yeah.
But I see a little bit of differences, and
So
I see a little bit of similarities. But like,
And
why are
that's-
they different?
The term that you just used in there, the operative term in those two sentences that you just said, is that you had to use the word supposed.
Yes.
And that's the problem. If you are going to have a belief, a faith, a structure, a whatever that gives you a moral compass, your reason for doing what you do, that should be something self-discovered. That should not be something that you are supposed to follow because, well, I was born into it or I was raised
This is
that
what
way.
they taught me.
This is what I was taught. And that comes down to emotional response versus logical response.
Right.
It's what's hilarious is that the human being will doubt everything they were fucking told,
Everything.
except for the religion they were raised in.
Unless they
just
were
buy
exposed
that
to
shit
another
unless
one
they
also.
get something
Right.
else.
So-
But you have to go into it with the same mindset you did, where you had exposure to both and went, okay, hold on.
But I didn't know any better.
I
That,
feel-
that was the best part about it.
I
is-
feel like you're more likely to have that situation happen to you as an American, though,
no,
due to our freedom of religion.
absolutely not.
You're
No,
allowed.
the opportunity to see something else. Is that
Yeah.
what you're? He's not saying
you're only exposed to it if you're exposed to multiple different religions at a young age. As you get older, you make a conscious decision of like, okay, is what I've believed in my entire life.
Yeah.
Is this different now?
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's just gaining maturity.
We had blind faith until we turned what?
But
16?
But there's a lot of people
Pretty
that
much.
that blind faith carries the
Call it
rest of
14.
their entire lives with them.
Yeah.
Right. There's some people that
Once the priest finished, I was like, "Hey, I got questions."
yeah, like why'd you go on my back?
Yeah,
like
dude,
you should have went in my mouth.
Back shots. What is that, man? Show some respect. Damn.
But no, if you at a young age, if you're exposed to multiple different beliefs, everything is questioned.
Yeah.
But if you're raised in this is your belief. This is what our family believes in. This is what all of our friends and family believe in. Like this is it.
Yeah.
That's all you know until you get older, and then you're open to other aspects of things. But in that time frame until then, that's all you know, and that's what you believe.
Well, and part of my problem is like when I'd go to church, right? Like I was in the correct religion,
Yeah.
right? And I would see everybody who was in church, and then I would see what they did throughout the
Outside
week.
of church.
And I'm like, you are a piece of shit,
But, as long as you confess, you're all set.
you know? And that's kind of like, well, okay, like,
But yeah. But like for me, for instance, growing up knowing two different religions and going through all the beliefs and customs and courtesies of both.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Christmas. It was cool. I had Hanukkah. That was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like Christmas, I got one day. Hanukkah, fucking let's go.
Crazy.
Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you get like 8 little shitty presents, whereas Christmas you get fucking 85 awesome presents. Well, unless you're poor like me, then
Well, it just depends.
one cool present and a bunch of shitty ones.
That's because some of us
Yeah,
have
but
more money than others.
John
Yes.
fucking had Adam
there he goes again, called me a poor.
Like Scott did. Like I had Adam Sandler.
You'd be correct. I was absolutely a poor.
I grew up
Did-
fucking poor.
Did
My
Adam,
best- my best gets hit by
Sandler sing
grandparents.
songs about your Christmas?
No.
Fucking no.
No.
Right? Yeah. So we had some shit going
No, we got Michael Bublé.
and Mariah Carey.
We had Bing Crosby, sir. Let's go old school.
like and so
Even black guys sing about white Christmases in our religion.
Through high school, it was very interesting because I spent my freshman and sophomore year at a Catholic all-boys college prep school. And we literally started every class of the day praying.
With a fucking Hail Mary.
Right? So when it came for me to lead the prayer, I said a Hebrew prayer. And I cleared it with them.
Catholic school?
I cleared it with them beforehand. And
Did you say it in Hebrew?
As best as I could, because I don't speak Hebrew.
Not like anybody's
But
going
I
to check
tried.
you on it. None of them motherfuckers
No, but I
would check
fucking
you on
tried.
it.
You know what I mean? But it was me kind of poking the fucking bear.
Yeah.
And it was like, I understand where you guys are from, but I know this also. And it conflicts a little bit with what you guys are trying
Fuck
to
them. They
teach.
worship a Jew anyway.
So when I was young, right?
But so after I got out of high school and I joined the military, it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It was a cesspool of fucking everything.
Yep.
And I went to church on Sunday in basic, so I didn't have to clean the base.
Yep.
And then we got deployed. And then I was like, oh, maybe I need to learn about another religion because these people are fanatics.
Yes,
So I learned about another religion.
they're very committed.
So I learned about a third, right? And it conflicted everything else I knew about the first two. And I was like, fucking wait a minute. And that's when my eyes really opened up to be like, okay, it's not like it's either this way or that way.
So
Now there's 47 different ways in this world.
Yeah.
And they're all different.
and then you had a chaplain who was multi-religious, right?
I had a
Like,
chaplain I couldn't understand.
yeah, that too. But okay,
He
so
was Asian.
so when
Let us pray.
when I
Wait, what?
he still talks that
He does. It's great.
way.
Chaplain Kim, best dude in the fucking world.
This at the reunion. He was there.
You would kick in a door and he'd be the second man in the stack. No gun, but he just wants to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
It was awesome. He was awesome.
And my chaplain at 1-3 was the only one in the Marine Corps to have a fucking combat action ribbon. And
Same with this dude.
He almost got fucking.
There is nothing
He almost
better,
got
though,
booted.
than chaplain at range day, and you have all the range officers out there going like, "Oh, hey, chaplain, do you need me to get in?" They're like, "No, I'm good."
We get a call.
And you're just like, "What the
We
fuck?"
get a call over the net about troops in contact or whatever the fuck's going on or whatever. But every major engagement that our battalion had, not a company level, not a platoon level, every major engagement that our battalion had, our chaplain was in the same truck as our battalion commander showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this
What a good fucking
motherfucker.
dude.
This dude was
his-
insane.
Fuck.
What
Good
did
dude.
Carlson call him? Something 6. Fuck.
I can't remember.
Oh, it was good though. But anyway, when I was young, right?
That'd have been Vatican VI.
I was Missouri Synod Lutheran, and our biggest competitor, if you will, were the Catholics. Right, half of my cousins were Catholic. Right,
Pretty sure we won.
and so I would be like, okay, why?
Martin's got 99 reasons you're wrong.
I'm like, why are Catholics? Why are Catholics not right?
Yeah.
And I was always told because they pray to Mary. Mary was not a god. Okay, and then I'm like, we are Lutheran.
Mary popped out Jesus
Martin
without
Luther.
fucking.
Why are we following Martin Luther, who's a dude, right? Probably less on the fucking chain of command than Mary, right?
Yeah.
And that was the biggest question in my mind. Is
It's
always
because he's got 99 problems, but a God ain't one.
Like one thing I always respected about Lutherans was the confidence. Because Martin Luther was just this guy who was like, he had an idea and was like, I think it's like this.
Yeah.
And rolled with it and just fucking
Yeah.
full send into that life, right? And then brought a bunch of people with him.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I mean, that's bullshit that he did. Like, I mean, he was
I
the one that
respect
was responsible for making the Bible readable by the masses. So he took it out of
Yeah.
Latin.
Yeah, he did the Amplified as well.
Like,
Like he was the first
he-
Amplified Bible. Yeah.
He took it out of Latin and translated it. He
put it in-
made his findings public.
Didn't he put it
in
into Greek?
German.
German.
One of the big things about the Bible that really fucking gets me is when a king puts his name on it, you know it was altered to control a populace.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't read the King James Bible.
But I'm just saying, because that's
But that's
the
the
most
go-to.
popular
Yeah.
fucking Bible in the world.
That's the go-to.
Yeah.
There's King James.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know that at that point in the world, religion wasn't used as like, here's a faith we should believe in.
What's the one that's still around?
Religion was a thing that was used to control a populace.
Always has been.
Well,
And it always will be.
you can. Well, as
But
far as
that, if you can't see that,
Except for mine.
as far as
true.
Catholicism,
But if you
goes,
can't see that, if somebody in power changed a religious textbook, essentially,
well,
How they
are you familiar with the Council of Nicaea?
yeah,
Like that's when it started.
it,
Like that's when
that was the organization of the book.
yeah,
that's when they organized.
That's who decided what became a gospel and what wasn't.
and that's when they started with like
They also wrote their own creed.
with the control.
Yeah.
That's when the control
that-
started.
exactly.
Well,
For the masses,
sort of.
like for the sects, it was already there. The control was already there, but
Sort of. I mean, there's
The
also the
Council of
theory
Nicaea-
that the Roman Empire never died. It just
That's
transferred into the
ridiculous.
Catholic religion. So
Well, thanks to-
Catholicism is nothing more but the extension of
well,
of
they
the
say
Roman Empire.
they say that because of Constantine, but Constantine was a lifelong pagan until his deathbed. And then he converted to
I'm
Christianity.
sure that's why the Catholic Church built their fortress at the seat of the Roman Empire.
I love the fact that we are all dumbasses,
Yeah.
but we're smart.
Oh, we're retarded,
No,
but
the-
brilliant.
I wouldn't say smart. We're educated.
we're smart enough to know we're not just right. Like
Oh, with the religion, nobody's right.
nobody.
That's
No.
the beauty of religion.
They're not, but we can actually
right?
have a conversation. Like, I'm not yelling at you, like, fuck you for what you believe in.
I think Jews are awesome.
I love yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. I fucking love your guys' fucking look on shit, man.
Hummus is great. Like, fuck you.
No, it's not that. It's the same reason that I respect the Marine Corps. I love the tradition whole.
It's because it's a cult.
It's the tradition. I
No.
like that there's so much. And it's like, why
That's
do you do it
Mormons,
this way?
man. And
No,
those
but I love, like,
motherfuckers,
we
huh?
probably just sat here for 45 minutes, right? And nobody's singling you out or me out or Scott or Mikey and being like,
And we
fuck
are-
your religion,
and all
you're
four-
wrong and you shouldn't believe it this
Well,
way.
the reason why I wanted
Part
to
of
ask
that-
you is because I was curious because you had an aspect at one point in your life where you wanted to go into
Mhm.
like religious work,
Mhm.
right? Like I've never once thought I should be a priest.
Which-
no.
To be honest, because I wanted to go do that.
That's because you don't like dudes.
That was the reason
Or kids.
I dug into religion so much. My view on it was if I'm going to be responsible to be pastors are supposed to be shepherds. They are supposed to be the ones that are looking for their flock and their congregation
And
is
looking
their
out for
responsibility.
their flock,
And they're-
absolutely.
Supposed to be able to answer questions and fix, crisis of faith. And they have to be counselors and they have to be guiders. And they have to be all of these things. I felt that the only way I could do that effectively was to be as educated as possible as to where my religion came from.
Right.
And so that's what caused all that homework. And like you said, the education,
Like it's dead.
the knowledge became
Pretty good.
Knowledge is power.
knowledge is power. And what ended up happening is that knowledge,
buddy.
that knowledge executed more power than the blind faith.
Right.
And so it is the definition of knowledge is power, because the more knowledge I gained, the more that blind faith I was supposed to carry crumbled.
Right.
And that's the thing with blind faith is that under scrutiny,
Yeah.
it just utterly falls apart. And
Well,
that is not exclusive
Well,
to
you have to
Christianity.
fall back on it, right? It's like
Imagine-
you have to fall back, and it's a safety net,
Imagine,
because God said so.
imagine if Jazz went a different direction in life and we all sat in on one of Jazz's sermons. Oh my God. Like, I don't know if I'd want to leave there and get in a
Wait a minute,
fight,
who's God?
drink a bottle of fucking booze or bang some chick. Like, I don't know what's going to happen after this, but you know what? It's going to be an hour of fucking gold.
And now you know
all
I'm a Norse
all of
pagan.
those.
Here's what I think: if the entire world, well, not the entire world, but the majority of the world would just absolutely fucking realize the fact that the big three, all right, you got big three, all right, big three is Jews, Muslims, Christians, right?
Incorrect.
What?
Incorrect.
But it's what I'm saying. Those big threes.
So you're just going to leave Hinduism out of
Yeah, I
there?
was going to say there's a giant
There's-
populace of people.
There's a billion and a half of them.
I'll get there.
Why
I'll get there.
why doesn't Islam fight them?
But if you took the
they
big,
don't care.
if you took
Nobody's fucking with India.
if you took those
If we
three,
learned anything from the movies, is that you don't get into a land war in Asia.
In any aspect of any Asia.
unless you're Mongolian, then it works out fine for a while. Right?
Or that's why.
But those big three, if they would just realize it's the same God, man, you're worshiping the same deity. That's what it is. Because it is.
Yes, but the thing is that
Islam grew from
For-
Ishmael, which was fucking
they
Abraham's
all,
firstborn.
yes, we're all talking about the God of Abraham.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What you're trying to say is it would be awesome if they pulled out the organized part.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to have faith, have the fucking faith, man. That's cool. Nobody's fucking shitting on that.
That's why the Gospel of St. Thomas didn't make it into the book.
Now,
which is unfortunate.
We are special. Okay. Collectively, us. Everybody sitting in this room right now.
And he means special.
On air or off
spectrums.
No, we are special because we have access to information and we've been taught a fuckload more than the majority of the people around this world. We really have.
That's true.
If in this country,
we've had a broader education.
No, we live in a country where we have access to whatever the fuck you want.
It's not about what they taught us. It's about what we have access to.
Yeah,
right?
Because what they taught us is not what I believe.
So we have access to enough things to be able to generate a conclusion on our own based on our own thought process and research of what we believe in. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't fucking matter, but we have access to be able to generate our own conclusion of it. 70% of the world doesn't have access to generate their own conclusion of what they believe in. They only believe in what they're taught, and they don't have access to learn any more.
They are also silenced when they try to find out anything else.
Or they're berated because they don't believe.
Yeah.
And by berated, you mean murdered?
You take it whatever context you want to take it in.
And and I think if the God that I believe in doesn't allow me to go to heaven because I'm not a certain.
Well, I'm driving a bus to hell, bro. So just jump on. You come with us. All my boys will be there.
Have you ever met a Buddhist, like an actual practicing Buddhist?
No, they're cool. They're all fucking cool.
If you're raised, and that was one of the questions I had from my pastor too, is because I had met some Buddhists at that point because I was studying. I was trying to gather information, and I'd met these Buddhists, and it was like, holy shit,
they're all just cool dudes.
The principles of of loving thy neighbor, of committing no violence, of trying to find, of caring about other people, of self-sacrifice, of all of that stuff. They embody all of that.
The
all
10
the
commandments
fucking time.
are in there. Yeah,
and I'm like. So what you want me to do is you want me to tell these people because they don't believe in Jesus, they all burn?
Yeah.
Some of the best people on the planet you're ever going to meet, they all burn.
And there's some people that I know that believe in Jesus that should fucking burn.
Yeah. And
so they probably will.
Is a lot of people.
And a lot of it comes down to like phrasing issues. Like, don't tell me as a Norse pagan that I follow a barbaric religion when I can look at you and go, you consume the body fluids and flesh of a demigod in order to show your subservience. And then tell me.
I keep fucking with Christians, man. Go to the Jews for a while. Fuck.
What do we do? What do we do? We just want to fucking live happy.
These dudes
it.
are like, how about a shitty fish and a glass of wine?
Like, I couldn't even make bread. I have matzah because I had to get the fuck out before it rose.
But don't look at me and be like, it's barbaric. And it's like, really? But then it comes down to phrasing, right? You phrase it like that, and all of a sudden it turns into like, well, we don't do that. And I'm like, yeah.
That's literally.
That's the definition of what you do. That is the body fluids and flesh of a demigod in order to show your subservience and thankfulness.
The body of Christ.
Justin, what's our time on this?
We're over 2 hours.
We're deep, son.
So
we keep going if you want. Fuck it at this point.
This is my point.
We're getting Rogan length.
We're having a fucking civil conversation about religion. It's gone over 2 hours. This is why this fucking fight has gone on for 2,000 years.
But
if you want to fucking answer,
but it's because we're all neutral.
We're all smiling and nobody tried to kill anybody yet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
at least I know.
Give it an hour. Give it an hour.
No, there's also, I now know that the reason
no
Scott wants to kill me isn't my religion. I appreciate that, Scott.
I don't think it's ever been. I don't think it's ever been murder. I think it's just more of an ass whipping.
It's just
I've never
murder. It's just a maiming. It's just.
I just want to scalp you. That's it.
What religion is Chinese people?
Buddhist.
Taoism.
It's Taoism.
Yeah.
Taoism.
I don't know anything about
or Buddha. It depends on the region that you're in.
It depends on which month, depending on which territory they just took over. So
you want to talk about fucking making it a business? China fucking nailed it early.
So, you know.
You want to know what? I'm going to raise my glass, boys. I'm going to say thanks for being a freedom friend.
idea.
This has gone on a long time. Thank you all for listening so much. We appreciate you. We know this went a little long. You fucking jinxed us.
Yeah, it's your fault,
about
Kibby.
it earlier. Fucking A, dude. Before the show started, Kibby was like, you guys have been going long lately. And it's like, we just had a lot to talk about. And it was like, whatever.
This was just a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we never plan on talking religion.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I think this
and
might be
you're
the
welcome.
first time that we actually like dove deep into it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what? I honestly want to say, this is why you guys are my friends. Is that we can have conversations like this, and it's either out of genuine curiosity because
Yeah. Well, I was curious.
You and I are very
Mikey's
close. And
naive.
we've never talked about it.
No, we never have. You know
But-
why? Because it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter. But like I said, there's no shame in my game. And I
You hear
brought
me,
it up, and
Israel,
nobody
Palestine?
else,
It doesn't fucking matter.
nobody else at this table went like,
No,
the
Palestine.
fuck? Like it was just like
I'm behind
okay.
Israel. They need to go fuck up Hamas.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
They have
I agree.
They have to.
It's time
They
to
have
wipe
to.
that off the fucking.
I am a
man.
firm believer that Israel is right on the line.
I will
of
definitely
the whole fuck around and find out.
You know
I
what they
do
need to
not
do?
want
I
that
will-
smoke.
Dude,
will-
but they've given him every opportunity
want
to
that
go, dude. You don't
smoke.
want this.
They're doing it on
Sure.
purpose.
I would
You don't want
definitely.
It's a
don't
tactical
want
decision.
this.
I would definitely pick up a rifle to defend myself from any religion, but I will never pick up a rifle to impose my religion.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
But that's
I
called,
will for democracy, but not for Jesus.
that's called a moral compass.
Yeah.
I think like they need to kill the internet to that region of the world for like 10 days and then turn it back on. And Israel's going to be like, we're good. And that's it. And
Yeah.
nobody questions anything.
Yeah.
Nobody says anything.
Hey, Elon, shut down fucking Skynet for a day
and
or
then,
two.
and then 6 months from that date, Israel comes back online and is like, hey, anybody got a problem with how the world's going right now in this area?
Right.
Oh, by the way,
Everyone's going to be like, no, we're cool. And they'll be like, cool.
by the
You know
way,
what?
while we were gone, we changed the border
I
map.
disagree. Live stream the whole thing. Take the fucking chains off of
Yeah.
Israel and then see how many chosen people we have after that.
And, no,
like it's best recruiting campaign.
we can't
ever.
because
God
there-
is with me.
there's so many people that believe even the things that are going on today
I
are
know.
war crimes.
Stupid.
And it's like, how are you that fucking retarded?
I will tell you this: if you're marching, if you're in America and you're marching pro-Palestine, you might need to pick up a fucking book. You might need to read something.
I disagree.
You have to separate Palestine from Hamas.
Yes, I disagree. If you want to support Palestine, I'm behind you 100%.
But
I
if you wanna
support
say
the
that-
innocent people
I'm
of
not-
Palestine.
I'm not.
I support
shitting
the
on-
people that live there that
The
are just
people.
trying to go about their life, that don't give a fuck about the whatever bullshit between Hamas and everybody else that's around there.
But if you argue that Hamas is in the right
Yeah.
for the purposes
You can go
of
fuck
defending
yourself.
Palestine, you can fuck off.
Yep. And
That's what I meant.
you
That's
just
what I mean.
Google Warfighter Tobacco, come knock on the goddamn door, meet at the end of the way, so we're not on the fucking property.
Down the gateway off the property. All right, boys. 3 little things. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Hey, like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons real quick. Do all those things. Tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your fucking mom's friends, you stupid bitches. Anyways, I'm clearly fucking. I'm on one, dude.
Is that 90
Are we
proof
going-
whiskey?
I'll drink 8 beers.
If we have to
Have
go
they
live again, Mikey, we'll do it.
Oh no. That was a
we
good
go
time.
live on a Monday like this. People are gonna be like, I don't know about these guys.
Yeah, we're alcoholics. It's fun.
Yeah.
Try it.
When was the last time we went live as the
A couple of weeks
As a
ago when we
show?
were this
No.
drunk.
as the show? Not you two idiots.
it was before the summer because we were still out.
Yeah, we were still out
Yeah.
back. Yeah, it's probably been
I don't
6-8
think-
months.
I don't think we've gone live this year. I think
No?
it was
Yeah, it's been a
2022.
minute.
Oh wow.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it was before the summer.
When we said
Nailed it. John, you were spot on.
when we said we were shutting down the buddy check, we fucking meant it. That's all. it
Anyways,
was.
go find all the fucking sponsors.
Yeah,
There's
do all
3
that.
little things that you can do. They're fucking easy as pie.
Scott, hit him with the first one.
Smoke on.
Mikey,
Drink on.
and god damn it, boys.
Freedom to fuck
fuck
on. Later.